Ciao, ciao everyone. कैसे हो सब लोग? And I think
All good.
ये the
Ciao.
first thing before I get to you guys, the first comment I saw is this as usual by Ravi, who's like the ultimate troll on our channel. उसने बोला कभी तो stream time पे चालू करो, and the reason I delayed the stream is because you said Forza Hella. So the next time you say that, I'll kick you out of the stream altogether. But all jokes aside, Ravi, we are, I think, after yesterday's episode and a good response to both our in studio recordings, we are back with another live stream. First of all, obviously, I have with me Ajay bhai as usual. How are you doing, Ajay bhai? कैसे हो?
Ciao ciao tutti, buonasera, tutto bene, सब ठीक है, एकदम बढ़िया. Looking forward to the Derby della Capitale. Always a special game for both Roma fans and Lazio fans.
Hmm.
Lots of anxiety and always like to go back and look at some of the better times that Roma have had in the derby.
And we also obviously have अनुभूति on that note. मतलब जब लाजियो के बारे में बात करनी रहती है, then who else will we call other than अनुभूति? How are you doing, अनुभूति?
I'm doing very well and quite excited about the Derby della Capitale. It's happening very close to the anniversary of Lazio, which happens on 9th of January. And so we're looking forward. Hopefully, it's a good birthday present for Lazio fans.
Yeah, and by the way, happy new year to everyone and you too, Anubhuti, because yeah, you're coming on the channel after a long time and मजे मतलब आप दोनों पे तो नर्व्स है, मेरे तो मजे है आफ्टर बीटिंग अटलांटा. मतलब कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. आई नो इट हैज राइल्ड अप सम अटलांटा फैंस एंड आई एम जस्ट हैविंग फन अबाउट दैट, बट वो कोई कभी और बात कर लेंगे हम लोग. We all just let me see who's in the house first. We have Ravindra. It's always nice to see you, Ravindra. I know UA obviously play tonight. Juventus versus Milan. Hopefully, it's not as boring as the
Oh man, yeah.
the fixture we had in the Serie A, which was our first get together as well. Where and you know what a way to have a get together.
Listen, वो
Unfortunately,
get together में the game was horrible. We all fell sick. I think the
yeah,
whole of Mumbai was suffering from viral fever
yeah.
back then.
I
So yeah, it just
remember
didn't get
you,
over.
me, Chintan, me all fell sick
Even
together.
Anubhuti was sick, if I'm
Yeah,
not
I did
mistaken.
Yeah,
not.
even
I
Anup.
could not turn up
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of the
correct.
same reason, because of being sick. So yeah.
Exactly. So UA Milan just made it worse. But all jokes aside, yeah, Roma versus Lazio, biggest derby in the world. Arey baap re. Black X triple four.
देख
Gopinath is here. हाँ बोलो.
intercity rivalry में it is the most fiercest, one of the most fiercest in the top 5 leagues of
I
Europe.
would, I
Yes.
मतलब अगर आप सिर्फ
नहीं,
इटली
नहीं.
की बात कर रहे हो,
We are not talking about Red Star versus Partizan. वो तो अलग ही जोन में आता है.
नहीं वो हाँ एग्जैक्टली. आई एम सेइंग इफ ओनली इफ यू रिस्ट्रिक्ट इट टू इटली, आई वुड मतलब अगेन एक अंडररेटेड राइवलरी है बोलोनिया वर्सेस फ्योरेंटीना, जिसको इतना क्रेडिट नहीं मिलता इन टर्म्स ऑफ इंटेंसिटी. आई वुड से probably on par with Derby della Capitale if you really think about it. But maybe that we
Don't
should
start.
cover in another video to really make people understand what how intense that is. Gopinath is here. He says, "Can we expect a Roma Lazio watch along?" अरे भाई उसका kick off time तो देख कहाँ watch
5:15.
along करेंगे. There
वही
will
तो
be
हम
no
लोग डिस्कस
audience.
करते हैं. वही तो
Yeah.
डिस्कस करते हैं ऑफ स्क्रीन that had it been a day game, which it was for so many years, we could have done a watch along. But somehow Serie A have decided this year itself we will do a night game, which is typical Serie A.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we won't have an audience. Even if we have the energy to do it, there will be no audience at 1:15 a.m. So,
No chance.
big derby coming up, says Lily White's India. Nice to have you. Nice to have you talk father versus son today. Of course, Conceiçao derby. Excited to see not only how we do, but also how Sergio sets up his team. Yeah, of course, वो तो है. Lazio and Roma are in the same stream. Lazio and Roma in the same stream. This calls for fireworks after a long time. Lazio are the favorites for me. The Roma front line needs to sharpen up. The finishing Zaccani is the talisman. Yeah, बहुत है. अभी तो देखते हैं. मतलब Ranieri ने भी obviously form turnaround किया, and that is the interesting part. Lazio have to face a slightly better AS Roma. So let's see how this goes. अच्छा मैच था. मतलब we deserve to win, I would say. If you see any Atalanta fans making a fuss over it, remember that they've had 3 handballs go their way in the league, and that's how they have 9 points more, and that's why they are on top of the table. So if anybody is creating a fuss, just remember why Atalanta is on top of the table. But all jokes aside, I think we deserve to win. If you watch the game, I mean, we were quite dominant from the first half, and we could have scored more. Dumfries was, yeah, he scored a crazy bicycle kick goal and a long range goal, so I think we deserve to win it. Sunday set, Liverpool versus Man United and Roma Lazio later. Yeah, fair enough. Football enthusiast, nice to have you. Long live boring football. Long live UA versus Milan. मजा आने वाला. I'm waiting for it. By the way, again one disclaimer कि GXR is still down. By the way, और we don't know when they're returning. वो लोग ने बोला it's maintenance or whatever. They're facing some issues. So we'll share illegal stream का links. Unfortunately, that is how
कुछ
it is.
अपडेट मिलता है GXR से तो मैं बताता हूँ because
Exactly. हाँ.
we are in touch with them, so
Yeah.
they said they
What
will
I
get back.
agree with is कि they should have informed. They should have put out a public notice for everyone. They can't just go around telling specific group of people कि हाँ तुम लोग जाके बताओ. So that's something they didn't handle well. You didn't put the history of
This
Roma
will
and
come.
Lazio.
ये कल आएगा. So I just recorded yesterday night after I reached home from work. So while I was coming back from work, I was just reliving a lot of derbies, both highs and lows, like I mentioned. So I came home, Param Anubhuti, at about, I think 11:15. I started to record the video, and it went up till 12:30. And I had
Wow.
written down a full script of it, how to go and
यार ये आप
very
एनर्जी
very.
बारी वीडियो के लिए क्यों नहीं दिखाते हो यार? ये क्या है ये?
See, because the Derby della Capitale is my God, it's something else, man. I mean, I can't explain to you, how much it means. And of course, when there's a Roma win, it's fabulous. And when
Fair
there's a
enough, fair
Lazio
enough.
win, it's just end of the world.
But now you know.
Yeah,
So if Sunday Ajay Bhai does not record the Bari video with me, you know who's at fault for the Bari video not coming out on time. Note this, clip this, and then you can blame Ajay Bhai and we can have a punishment ready for him. And they keep advertising. Yeah, so this is something I have a problem with as well. Ki GXR on Twitter and Instagram is going on about how everything is, they're going on about their social media posts and they're not addressing anything. So I understand the frustration on everyone's part. So we'll keep you posted, but until then, Twitter pe follow us. We'll post some illegal streams ka link and on the WhatsApp group as well. I think the panel for today is this. Chintan Bhai might join. I'll check with him. But Yogesh
Yep.
and DJ Bhai are definitely out. But let's get this started here, guys. There's a lot to talk about. I guess we should start with the Derby della Capitale right away. Just let me pull something up in a second. We'll discuss a bit of Calcio Mercato rumors as well, because I know Lazio are linked with Jacopo Fazzini, the Fratesi rumors for the summer. मतलब वो सब ये सब, so we'll touch upon that. But let me just pull up the fixture 1 second. Yeah, horrible timing by the way. 1:15 on a
Horrible
Monday.
timing.
Yeah, horrible. Brian
So-
Cristante is obviously missing the game.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that disappoints Anubhuti. That does that disappoint you, Anubhuti? मतलब Brian Cristante है नहीं, मतलब
yes. Like,
yeah, but Ajay Bhai loves Brian Cristante for some reason. But again,
Unconditionally.
I'll pull up a proper predicted 11 from Gazeta in a bit. But again, I just wanted to pull this up for form. I'll start with Anubhuti. Anubhuti, मतलब y'all still are fourth in the league after all. I know y'all obviously lost 6-0 to 6-0 to us and all this, all that. But still, I would say y'all bounce back pretty well. Again, to lose 6-0 and then to still draw with Atalanta, the league leaders, beating Lecce in a tough contested game, who have just signed Gianpaolo, so new coach bounce and everything. What are your thoughts on Lazio up until now? Because I don't think any one of us thought कि Lazio fourth बैठेगा इस point table पे, and that too with putting up a good fight. It's not like y'all are that far off from the top three also. What are your thoughts so far?
no, what you said is very correct. I think in spite of that, tennis court drubbing against Inter, I think Lazio are in quite good form. And I think that match was also an effect of the kind of form that we are having, because we've just been that sort of a team who is expecting results and just knowing that the first 25 minutes of that match was more or less Lazio having quite a bit of the play, even above. I'm talking about the Inter match. So even then it was not like it was a match we had no positives from at all. What I saw, especially against Atalanta, was really wonderful to see that, probably we're the first team, and of course, after that, you were, which really shook Atalanta, at least in their form right now. I think we should have probably won it, but then, of course, Bulai Dia did that part where he, where he took a shot where he should not have probably
Instead of
taken a shot.
passing.
But all these small things happen. But then, of course, like, as form goes, I think Lazio, at least the the first team of Lazio and probably a little bit of the depth also is in very good form. So I'm looking forward to this match. It's Baroni's first derby, and so I
Hmm.
think I don't know what what his luck for the derby is like, because I think I've always seen that the the manager's luck for the derby is something that is very important. Jose
Hmm.
Mourinho was very lucky for us, mostly, and so that
Only in the
does
cup.
happen. So
Only in the cup.
Sorry.
yeah,
I said only in the Coppa Italia. Otherwise, he did
Yeah,
win
yeah,
a
yeah.
couple
In
of
the cup.
Serie A derbies.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, go ahead, Anubhuti. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. So that's the thing. It is something that is very exciting, and that is the thing. What you were saying is that I myself did not expect Lazio of this year to
Hmm.
be in this position, and it's really, really, I think, made a lot of people sit up and take notice.
Hmm.
And the fact that we are leading the Europa League is not just in Italy but also in Europe. A lot of people are
Yeah,
looking at
yeah.
Lazio as as one of the Italian giants. Again, of course, the UEFA coefficient is something that every team in Italy is fighting for to get more places
Of
in the
course.
Champions League. So I think we're in a very good position right now overall in, I would say, the competitiveness of the league that we see.
Hmm.
Because if you look down, even like, yes, the top three teams have now created a gap, but just after that, there is a huge team, group of teams who are, just looking for that opportunity to go up and fight. And well, to add to the banter a little bit, I think. Hummels has said that it is possible for Roma to finish above Lazio this year, and with already a 15 to 20 point gap. So, if that
Never
is
know.
possible, then anything is possible for at this point of the season.
Yeah, yeah. We that too. Yeah, I remember reading that as well, and I read something else about Hummels, which I'll ask Ajay later, because I personally am not the biggest Mats Hummels fans, but again, that's a different story. But again, as Anubhuti said, like you can see कि Lazio ने Ajax को भी obviously recently हराया. Just sticking to the Europa League for a bit. अगर आप देख सकते, they're still, मतलब you guys are still one of the better, मतलब you guys are obviously on top of the table, but also in terms of goals conceded, if you see, or like the second best. So Lazio overall, Anubhuti obviously have done extremely well with the squad, kind of squad you have. अगर आप देखो again, with the rotation again, for me the biggest plus point I feel has been how he has managed the squad. Baroni ने जैसे squad manage किया, and I know some people are pointing out things about Lazio in the comments में आता उसमें, but I remember watching this game against Atalanta as well, and again मैंने जो देखा, like one of the players I'm generally critical of is Dele Basiro, because he's a bit inexperienced, which is fair enough. He's still 23, पर उसने भी, you can see a bit of difference in his game. You can see he's learning and adapting to certain things. And I liked, again, जैसे मैंने बोला, I liked how Lazio managed the game. Like again, people tend to look at stuff like XG, for example, and obviously वो लोग देखेंगे कि Atalanta had 2.81 or whatever. But I felt Lazio actually managed their shape very well and everything overall. And Atalanta needed like a late goal at the end of the day to equalize. So again, I felt Lazio, caused Atalanta a lot of problems, and again bouncing back from a 6-0 to make the league leaders drop points is also quite commendable, I would say, especially if you look at how Atalanta is playing recently. The जैसे Atalanta खेल रहे हैं in terms of how they're going, like almost on par with Inter in terms of that goal scoring ratio and whatnot. So yeah, I think Lazio the form पे, but Ajay bhai, switching focus, coming to you, obviously रोमा का फॉर्म तो इम्प्रूव हुआ ही है, there's no denying that, but still, like आपको कैसा लग रहा है going into this game, because at the end of the day we look at the table and obviously आप 10 तो हो, you all still, to be fair, got a point at Milan, which led to your former coach getting sacked, Fonseca. तो मतलब, is there a bit of optimism at least, because again we look at the results, Milan के साथ draw away, thrashing Parma final, thrashing Sampdoria. ठीक है, Sampdoria not the best team to measure yourself against, but then Como से भी आप लोग जैसे हारे थे. I watched obviously this game with Dele, like you had all the stars in this game, right Ajay bhai, if you remember, Keira Knightley, Michael Fassbender, Dele Alli, सब Zanetti सब stands पे बैठे थे इस game में. पर what is your overall thoughts on Roma since the turnaround? Do you think it's good enough to stop this version of Lazio for that has largely been consistent at least?
First of all, a very wise man said that Como FC are, a Hollywood PR stunt machine masquerading as a football club. I don't know who that wise man was, but that's that wise man's thoughts on Como. But coming to the Derby della Capitale, I think Anubhuti will also agree that form, position on the table, everything goes out of the window when it comes to the Derby. And there are, I think, if I'm not mistaken, about 44 radio stations in Rome for both Roma and Lazio. And
Yeah.
though didn't say that chatter only has been about the Derby della
Yeah, of
Capitale,
course.
which is always the case because this is the game that brings the city to a standstill. Until 2005 2006, due to crowd issues, after there were crowd issues in 2004, the derby उसके बाद में मतलब 2006 के बाद में the league decided that they'll not play it in the night to avoid any
Mm,
crowd issues. And that was the case until this year where we could actually done a meetup or a watch along or something, is when the
mm,
league decided we will do, bring back the night derby. And we were just, speaking about this off air, that I just hope and pray that nothing happens off the pitch. We just want all the fans to be safe and enjoy the game of football irrespective of the result. So wo hai. The mood in the camp is optimistic. Roma held an open training session. It was actually a,
mm,
small-sided game between two sets of players, not a training per se. बट जो रोमा का ट्रेनिंग सेंटर है, सॉरी, रोमा का जो स्टेडियम है त्रे फोंताने, जहाँ पे द वुमेन्स टीम प्ले, और देर आर
mm,
primavera games also there, is where it was an open session for Roma fans to come and cheer for the team. So that is the mood, and that is what Ranieri was brought in to do,
mm,
kind of stabilize the ship and everything. The season is a write-off. I don't know how high we are going to finish, but when it comes to derby days like this, the mood in the camp, the mood amongst the fans can definitely change if Roma get a positive result. And like I mentioned, form goes out of the window. So on the derby, it can
mm,
literally go either way. And I'm just hoping from our perspective that it goes our way, because like you mentioned, after a few negative results, barring Como, I think Roma have been pretty decent away to Spurs as well. Braga ko bhi, we watched that game. Braga
yeah,
ko
yeah,
Roma literally dominated the game from the first minute to the last. So fingers crossed. Derby nerves abhi tak 100% hit हुए नहीं है. Sunday evening will be a very, very anxious evening, and I'll be just refreshing, trying to see which is the final 11 that comes up, and I'll try to see on Twitter, with regards to all the news and media outlets out there, ki kya chal kya raha hai, what is the mood in Rome. So looking
mm,
forward, man. I mean, derby days are always special.
mm. Yeah, fair enough. I'll come to the comments in just 1 second. But circling back to that Milan Roma game, because obviously जैसे मैंने
Yeah,
लाजियो की लास्ट गेम की बात की, I obviously watched the game as well, and I think Roma could have won that. मतलब either team could have won it, but
especially
obviously,
especially in the last 20 minutes, Param. If you saw last 20 minutes, Milan just sat back and Roma had a
yeah,
few decent chances. Dobic in the start also missed a
post
chance
hit
which
the
was easier
post.
to
Yeah,
score than
exactly. That
he
was a
scored.
simple chance he hit the post. So Roma में definitely confidence level दिख रहा है, newfound confidence, which I do think can potentially cause some problems for Lazio. But again, let's come to all that later. Let me just take a few comments. Again, I stopped around, I think, GXR wala part. I think I stopped. Yeah, here, correct. And yeah, this is where I stopped. So if Lautaro didn't miss the chances, it would be 4-5 nil. Yeah, I wouldn't say 4-5 nil, but Lautaro missed sitters yesterday. Don't even get me started. But again, that's a different topic. Is Inter profiling any targets for the January window? No, not at all. Yeah, this again ये मैं स्टार करता हूँ
No,
because ये थोड़ा ट्रांसफर रूमर्स के सेक्शन में डिस्कस करेंगे आदित्य. We'll take some transfer news in general, but starting with Lazio and Roma, since we are discussing that, so I'll circle back to that. Uh, don't remind me that six of that 6-0. Okay, what is wrong with Bulaidia? He started well and down for quite some time. Anubhuti, do you want to answer this? Because I think it's not like a that big of a deal personally. You also have to remember he had malaria in between, and so obviously that takes a toll. Before or after he went to Africa, I think, if I'm not wrong, that was before he flew, if I'm not wrong, right?
No, so it was for the African Nations
Yeah,
Cup
I
when
know.
he had flown. So
Yeah,
just when he had flown, that's when he got malaria. I think that's the first like the physical
yeah,
test confirmed malaria. So he did not get to play as well, and then I think he had a quarantine period as well, and he had an injury as well, like not
yeah,
just
exactly.
not just.
Malaria.
Yeah, so that's why it has been it has been like he's been quiet for the last month or so, you can say. But that's the strength of the Lazio team right now, is that there is not one striker. There is not an Immobile who is like poking goals every week, and you just know that they put the ball to him. So what that's the fact that we have, that everyone is scoring goals, or even if they're not scoring goals, they are contributing. So I feel Bulai Dia is contributing, especially when, if not in a center forward role, then at least like when he drops back and creates chances. I think those things are something things that he adds. So I think I don't really see
Yeah, it's
I would
not.
say yes. Yeah, I don't see extreme, something to worry about for him as of yet.
या आई एग्री, मतलब मुझे ऐसा कोई नहीं लग रहा कि इतनी कोई बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. और अगेन इवन इफ इट वाज अ नेचुरल डिप, वो तो इट हैपन, ये तो कोई भी प्लेयर के साथ हो सकता है. एंड आई थिंक बुलाई दिया फॉर द लार्ज पार्ट, जैसे अनुभूति ने बोला, अच्छा किया है. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, आई मीन इफ यू गेट इंजर्ड या फिर आपको मलेरिया जैसा कुछ हो जाता है, विच इज नॉट दैट कॉमन दीज डेज, मतलब तो इट्स अनफॉर्चुनेट. बट बुलाई दिया अगेन फॉर द लार्ज पार्ट, उसने तो अच्छा ही किया. एंड श्योरली लास्ट गेम में अगर वो पास करता अगेंस्ट एटालांटा, तो मे बी लाजियो वुड हैव वन द गेम. वो अलग स्टोरी है, बट ठीक है, दे स्टिल गॉट अ ड्रॉ. Anubhuti, again another question for you: how is Tati Castellanos doing at Lazio? Argentine curiosity, so I guess SKR is an Argentina fan. Do you want to answer that for him?
Yes, so I think he's doing quite well. And again, I kind of wanted to mention him in the previous question as well. Even when Tati is not scoring, he is a very, very valuable player. The kind of chances
हाँ,
he is creating for Lazio are, and the quality that he has shown. Like when I saw him play last year, he was a very, very, I would say, average player with flashes of brilliance. There were one or two matches that he, really shown, but this
correct.
season he's a lot more consistent. He's I think there's a lot less of an ego which he probably had in the first year, in which he was against Immobile. And this year, part of a team, I see Tati Castellanos actually playing quite well. Of course, he's got an opportunity in Argentina as well, and let's see, like Lautaro and Tati could be the top two of Argentina for the time to come.
You never know, you never know, right? You never know. हाँ, एक्सपर्ट गेमिंग एसी मिलान वर्सेस यूवे तो है, पर हमने वो ऑलरेडी, इफ यू रिमेंबर, मंडे को जब स्ट्रीम, मंडे राइट अजय भाई, इफ इट वाज, इफ आई रिमेंबर करेक्टली,
Yeah.
मंडे
We
को
did
जब
a
स्ट्रीम किया था,
Fonseca
वी हैड
sacking and
Fonseca sacking पे
yeah.
ही डिस्कस कर लिया था. दैट्स व्हेन वी हैड टेकन प्रेडिक्शंस. बट या, लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू द गेम. I know obviously you will be rooting for UA as your profile picture, I mean as your picture suggests here. Gokul says, is Mario Hila in contention for Serie A defender of the year? Couldn't believe how good. I mean, he was good, but Anubhuti, I don't think defender of the year. I think thoda too soon of sorts, na, to say that. Matlab, I think
Yeah,
it's a bit.
I would even say that, like, I wouldn't consider him as defender of the year, because I think he's made a few mistakes in the year as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
But that's the thing. Like, he is one of those standout stars that we've seen, and now a lot of people are wanting to buy him off us. But I hope
yeah,
he stays on. I don't know about defender of the year, but
yeah.
definitely a star, or a young star which we've unearthed.
Fair enough. I agree with your assessment actually. Bruno Tavares कौन है भाई? Nuno Tavares है वो, by the way.
Nuno रहेगा.
Nun-
Yeah,
Nuno's brother.
yeah. Yeah, but again, Ajay bhai, because I've been asking Anubhuti non-stop questions, let me twist this and ask you. As a rival, what do you think? Because obviously we used to watch him in the Premier League as well, and obviously, वो तो बहुत टाइम पहले था, he was going out on loan and whatnot, but the impact wasn't there, right? अभी आप देख रहे हो, he started the season off with a bang,
Started
मतलब
well, yeah.
लेफ्ट राइट सेंटर असिस्ट, बट ऑल्सो एरर प्रोन है. अगर आपने वो इंटर वर्सेस लाजियो गेम देखा होगा,
Yeah.
he had clearly simply studied Nuno Tavares and easily just Dumfries owned him. I think Anubhuti will agree. Dumfries was running circles around him. And it was quite funny to watch, because in our fan base we make fun of Denzel Dumfries for not being the most intelligent player, and he was just being so smart. So it was too easy. But Ajay, generally your thoughts on Nuno Tavares so far at Lazio?
No, right. Like you mentioned, he started off well with all those assists and everything. उसके बाद में हल्का सा, I think, even when Lazio drew and lost a couple of games, he was, I think, made a scapegoat. If I'm not mistaken, he was substituted also in between a few games that I was watching of Lazio. So yeah, I think, see, he's a decent fullback, yeah, and ये होते रहता है ऊपर नीचे, but hopefully he has an off night on Sunday. Because I think Salamakers will be manning that right wing over there.
Yeah,
So
that's
it'll be
such a
Salamakers
that I'm
versus Nuno
sorry, but that
Tavares.
is such a weird duel here. Rajay
It is
Salamakers
a weird.
versus
It is,
Nuno
but
Tavares.
Salamakers, to be fair, has been quite good last two games
Yeah,
against
yeah,
Milan
yeah,
and Parma. Slowly
yeah.
after that injury that he suffered, he's coming back. So I'm just hoping that Tavares has got an off
We
night
will,
on
yeah,
Sunday.
we will get to the duels and where we feel the match. Can I when I pull up the predicted 11 on Gazzetta
Yes,
dello
yes,
Sport? By the
yes.
way, 13 log dekh rahe hain, please like, share, and subscribe. As you can see on the screen again, after the previous videos, I can see the count has clearly gone up. We are at 1262 or something. So, bhai, again, the next goal is 1.3k. So, pahcha do. That's all we can say. And more content will keep coming your way. Obviously, बारी पे हम लोग एक वीडियो बनाने का ट्राई कर रहे हैं. Again, if it doesn't come out on time, you know whom to blame. uh, उसके बाद फुटबॉल मैनेजर की सीरीज चालू हो जाएगी एंड या देयर विल बी मोर स्टफ टू कम. सो या टुडे नो अगेन GXR अभी तक फिक्स नहीं हुआ है. वी विल पोस्ट सम इलीगल स्ट्रीम का लिंक्स ऑन ट्विटर, सो उधर ही देख लो. और अगर आप ट्विटर पे नहीं हो तो इंस्टा पे DM कर दो, उधर ही शेयर कर देंगे. और क्या. Yeah, Marco Carnesecchi is a good goalkeeper.
Karsaki was good, yeah.
He's finally coming in his own. मतलब बहुत टाइम के बाद, so good to see. He already answered this, Guri. Anubhuti just answered this like a few minutes ago. Napoli have been showing interest. Yeah, I mean transfer rumors थोड़ा मैं तेरा स्टार कर लेता हूँ आदित्य, थोड़ा वो इस पे जगह. योगेश यार ये चैट पे है पर ये स्ट्रीम पे नहीं आ रहा है. ठीक है, सही है. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, this is the link. Carnesecchi looks like Sommer and plays like him.
No, कुछ भी मतलब ऐसा
Yeah.
कुछ भी
वो बाल की
बोलने
वजह
का
से,
अलग ही.
बाल की वजह से बस.
तो
बोलो.
जायद खान का भी लंबा बाल था, मतलब he looks a bit like Gigi Buffon, but मैंने कभी कुछ बोला है क्या?
Exactly. Okay, fair enough. You can have Gabriel Jesus. Again, Gori, you say Atalanta, you don't say Atalanta Bergamo. मैंने last time भी तुझे बोला था. It's like saying Manchester Red or Manchester Blue, something like that. Just like
Lazio
you
Rome,
say,
like a
Lazio
lot
Rome.
of these paper, a lot of these journalists cover it as Lazio Rome, and it's like there's no
Lazio.
Lazio Rome.
Exactly. And I personally, as a neutral, wouldn't agree कि कल हार गए. It doesn't matter. It can take a toll on the confidence of players. It can. Doesn't mean it will. But you never know. But again, obviously, Atalanta will be one of the favorites to win the Serie A. देखते हैं जीतेगे कि नहीं, अलग बात है.
पक्का
But
अटलांटा
let's
जीत
try.
रहे हैं, लिख के ले ले,
हाँ,
अटलांटा गोना विन.
हाँ, वो funny चीज है. Maybe that should be another point of discussion कि भाई मतलब I'm just finding it curious to see this newfound level of confidence in Atalanta fans कि भाई हम लोग जीत ही रहे हैं Serie A. Like this is, it's,
Very tough,
I'm not
very
making
tough
it
to
up.
win.
It's there on social media कि हम लोग जीत रहे हैं, which is good to see. I mean, for a change, no issues. But maybe on some other video we can discuss it. And again, if anybody gets offended by that, it's just something we've seen on social media and we are just saying it as it is. So you don't need to feel offended. Anubhuti, anything to say to this? You can say, feel free to reply.
No, it's okay. Like I think we'll reply on the pitch, and I think
Wow.
not just on the pitch. There'll be a lot of choreographies. I think from both the sides, and that is I think one of the highlights for me of the derby is to look
Actually,
at the choreography.
Param, that's also there. That the Rome derby and of course the Milan derby as well. Both these cities, when they have the derby, the choreography is just mind blowing, man. I mean, it's just amazing, amazing. What's been your best choreography, Anubhuti, that you have seen?
So there have been quite
That
a
you
few.
remember?
Like there have been good ones, there have been bad ones. I think the
I remember
one.
a bad one of Lazio.
Yeah. I think the one that I liked the most, I will tell you, I just forgot the entire,
The
the word, the sentence that was there. But yeah, I mean, there have
yeah,
been quite a few interesting ones. Recent years, of course, most of them have been about, I think, there was one in which we actually we had mentioned Roma in that, right, which is basically
That is the
claiming
most
the
funniest
city
one.
of
Yeah.
Rome. Yeah, which is basically I think 2-3 years back, which I remember. So there is always a lot of interesting stuff that comes up there. Uh, if I say interesting because not always very palatable stuff. So let's see what the choreographies are going to be this year. That is, I think, one of the highlights of watching the match right from the start. And of course, very honestly, and this has been really how it has been in my life. The half of the year is really determined by the derby.
Yeah.
So, however it turns out, the next 6 months, the mood would be determined by it. And again, it changes. Like if you win the derby, then you're like set for 6 months at least.
That,
You know
that's a
what?
good point. That's fair
I
enough.
still haven't recovered from that Coppa Italia derby loss. It's been how many years? In between when I fall into a pit of depression, that one derby will always be there. Amongst Serie A, it's okay. You win some, you lose some, but losing one in the Coppa Italia really hurts. But coming back to the
Munich
choreography,
71.
coming back to the choreography, the one that I like the most is the Roma captains of all time. In that choreography, if you
Ah,
remember a few years
yeah,
ago,
they are.
so Giacomo Lossi, Agostino Di Bartolomei, Giannini, Totti De Rossi, all were there. So that is a very, very brilliant one. Of course, there is always a play with the colors, Giallo Rosso and Bianco Celeste, and of course you have the she wolf for Roma, the eagle for Lazio. So I think color wise and atmosphere wise, I just hope that ye ground Stadio Olimpico hinders what would have been a fantastic derby otherwise. A modern stadium, this derby just goes up a few notches than
Of
what
course,
it
of course.
is right now.
Yeah, let me just round up with the last few comments before we move on to the predicted 11. Yeah, again, this point is very strange with the rotated 11 because I'll say this to counter this, right? We rotated our strongest 11 in the Champions League. We played our so called B team against Arsenal and still beat them, right? So I don't understand this logic. Ki Gasperini gave up on the game. He was also saying कि like, and I agree with this point. Even if he's being modest, उसने बोला कि मैंने लुकमन और डेकेटलारो को नहीं खिलाया जब because they can't play back to back 90s, which अगर आप देखोगे तो kind of it's true because these guys do get injured here and there, Lukman and Deketlara,
Yeah.
the likes of them. So I don't agree with this logic कि he didn't take it seriously. ये वो. Again, before this, they lost 6 games in a row to us. And again, I'm not trying to mock anyone. It's just a fact. This was their seventh loss in a row to Inter. It's a fact. Whether you like it or not, that's a different story. But I don't agree कि he was not going for it because at the end of the day, Ajay bhai, how many times have we seen Gasperini fall short of a domestic trophy like Coppa Italia, for example? He's lost so many finals. So
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he would have loved this to actually spur on more confidence for the league chase. Because already Europa League की वजह से आप देख रहे हो अनुभूति that their confidence has gone up, right? That's the reason they're there in the Scudetto race. Another trophy I feel would have bolstered that further. I'm pretty sure they would have loved to win this. So I personally don't agree with this. By this logic, again, as I keep saying, if that this was the case, then we played our B team in the Champions League and we still won our games. So again, but that's a different perspective. It's fair. Roma 2-2 Lazio. Nick has like already given his prediction. I'm rooting for Atalanta to win the league. Fair enough. Off topic, but can Atalanta do what Leverkusen did in the Bundesliga? I mean, in terms of winning the league, why not? वो लोग जीत तो सकते हैं. But obviously, Leverkusen was unbeaten. Atalanta have already lost games. So, unbeaten तो नहीं जा सकते, but definitely league तो जीत सकते हैं. Both Inter and Atalanta should wear home kit while facing each other. Right? They मतलब ये क्या है ये? Roma's inconsistency is worrying. But I think as Ajay bhai just said a while ago, at least you guys are doing better. I think you
Yeah.
should be grateful for that.
And Harry, Derby form just goes out of the window, man.
How good was Karnasik yesterday? Yeah, AMV, nice to see you. And by the way, we recognize you either way. Came with the real account today, not the impersonation one. But yeah, he was fantastic. Look, even being an Inter fan in yesterday's game, fantastic saves. Like even if he could not save the long range from Dumfries, that was difficult. But बहुत अच्छा keeper, and I hope उसको इटली का कॉल अप मिले. He I think deserves it at least over Alex Merritt. मतलब Alex Merritt, I don't know
For sure,
if he's yeah
Karnaseki has to be called up for Italy for sure.
yeah exactly. Inzola. Oh yeah. So I'll start this, Aditya. Thanks for, because I've obviously been seeing this. Uh, so once we round up the predicted 11 and all, I want to get into the transfer talk for both clubs. Atalanta bottling cup competitions like Manchester United. मैं bottling नहीं बोलूंगा हैरी, but again I feel personally Atalanta should have chased the trophy a bit. Whatever it is, it helps the team's mentality. Different squad of Inter depth can win versus. Fair enough. Fair enough. But again, you guys won the Europa League, so I expect you to chase more trophies. That's my perspective, at least. Ravindra says, I agree with you, Parmesh. It's not like Atalanta have a great record against Inter, so even with the preferred 11, it was hard. Fair enough. Again, I understand all these perspectives. Ajay, bhai, I've shown your how you became a sorry, I've seen your how you became a Roma fan video. Acha, sorry, you've shown it to all beloved EPL freak friends. Gotta say they were impressed and inspired after watching your video. Ajay,
Thank
bhai,
you so
anything?
much, bhai.
मतलब अगर आप EPL fans
No,
को
thank you. No. Thank you so much. So you can support any team that you want, man. And I think that's the thing. Once you choose a team, you can't change it. It just so happens that at least in this panel, the three of us and Atlanta Match Views also in the comments,
Hmm.
so many Serie A fans over here, we chose
Yeah,
to
yeah,
support a Serie A club back whenever we started, and we've stuck to it, irrespective of Serie A
exactly.
not being a glamorous league
Yeah,
compared to so-called the Premier League, La Liga, or Bayern
exactly.
Munich.
And you
So
you can see all of us have our stories. You have Anubhuti supporting Lazio since
yeah,
like the late 90s, despite all the struggle. Inter fan who went through a banter era where we lost to Hapoel Beersheva. Ajay bhai is still unfortunately living the tough times. You can see Atalanta fan hai chat mein, matlab you can see the difference of Yogesh supporting Napoli through the tough times as well. So hey bhai,
yeah.
आप लोग भी सेरिया क्लब्स सेरिया को देखना चालू करो. Just last one comment I'll take before we get back. Ajay, I want you to answer this. What are your thoughts on Brescianini? मतलब अभी तक जिसे कर रहा है, because some people were a bit disappointed where it felt like it was there, or there was a bit of a dip, and then it has been sort of a mixed bag. What are your thoughts on this so far?
I think he
This
needs he needs more minutes. He's a obviously exciting talent. Needs more minutes on the pitch, and the season is long. So abhi, the second half of the season, Atlanta are playing, of course, in the Champions League and competing for the league title. So he will get his chance with more games,
yeah.
more chances of players getting injured. He'll be rotated in. So I
Hmm.
we can just take a call at the end of the season. Too soon to say, but
Yeah.
he needs more minutes. That's the only thing. And that's the only way a player can develop. Still, it's
Yeah.
still very funny because his name is Brescianini and
Yeah,
Atalanta Brescia.
yeah.
I mean, it's almost like a Lazio fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Alessio Romagnoli was playing for Roma. That's it. Similarly, you have Brescianini
Hmm.
playing for Atalanta. So
Yeah,
ये
Brescianini.
एकदम
But
funny fact है.
yeah, but AMV, you let us know your thoughts on, as a fan. Please let us know in the comments. One last comment I'll take is, as a PL fan, I'm blessed to see a Sampdoria fan. I'm not a Sampdoria fan. I'm an Inter fan wearing a Sampdoria jersey,
Interista.
and a Lazio fan. With all due respect, matlab Lazio ke liye, I think he's holding back. Uh, but let's get back on track. Actually, before I get to the predictions and lineup, now I just want to discuss a bit of transfer news. Let me get it out
Yeah.
of the way. अनुभूति लाजियो से स्टार्ट करता हूँ. Y'all are linked with Jacopo Fazzini, which I feel would be quite a signing to bolster your midfield. I personally feel. पर the latest news is कि Empoli coach Roberto Daversa is trying to block the move because obviously उसको key player lose नहीं करना है, which is understandable. And because of that, Napoli are trying to enter, concretely enter the race and overtake you guys. Any thoughts on this? Because matlab, are you for this move? Or do you really think it is needed? Just your thoughts. I'll pull up
Uh,
whatever. But yeah,
it is a very exciting move, but at least the financials, the way I see that they're going, and like you mentioned, Roberto de Aversa is trying to block their move, and overall the financials that Empoli is asking for, I feel it is going to be difficult. I've almost always seen January moves collapse,
Hmm.
after a lot of talk. So I am not sure if it is going to go through, but definitely to have Fazzini join would be really good. The other guy I think is Cesare Casadei, who from
Cesare.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
who Lazio is looking at. I think it's all because the
Yes.
situation at Lazio is because of Castrovilli, Gaetano Castrovilli. his lack of performance, you can say, or just being injured all the while, he's probably effectively blocked us from buying any older players. So we have to look at younger players only as of now. But let's see what happens with Castrovilli as well. There is a chance that he might be let go, and then that changes our at least may change our summer transfer window, if not the winter one.
Yeah, I agree. And also, obviously, matlab, the thing is, as much as you're linked with Fazini, Casadei is also in the middle of like a lot of clubs. Matlab, Lazio is linked, Torino is linked, Monza is linked. Torino is really pushing to sign Casadei. So again, you don't really know if क्या बोलते हैं, Lazio को मिलेगा कि नहीं. I think uh, Lazio also have the idea to sign like if I'm not wrong, Ismaili from Empoli, but again that looks difficult. I think Lazio के लिए January wise वही news है, and I think I think Folorunsho is headed towards Fiorentina mostly, so वो तो Lazio के links तो है नहीं. But yeah, I think for Lazio that is pretty much it in terms of transfer news. मैं आप पे आता अजय भाई, just before 1 second, I think I'll just pull up this one quote from Fabiani, Lazio's sporting director, about their transfer plans or something. Yeah, here it is. As Anubut, like as someone said, I think in the comments, I remind, like Lazio, it's more of a repair market, January market, and they do see the opportunity. Anubhuti ki wo log try to improve to kar sakte. As he says, we'll try to do something, but I will not force a deal. But again, yeah, they're looking at other profiles as well. So I think that obviously Casade isme to hai hi. So let's see where Lazio goes in that regard. But on the other hand, Ajay bhai, Roma pe aate. So again, guys, I'll come to your comments. Don't worry. It's not happening in January, and ये given नहीं है कि you guys will get Fratesi, because it's not like we are going to just hand you Fratesi over. मतलब we don't do swap deals for any Roma fans in the chat. Ajay bhai will obviously know this, but for anyone unaware in the chat, we never do swap deals in the modern era. We don't. We always take cash for any player. Like, just giving you an example, when we sold Lukaku, Chelsea offered us Marcos Alonso. They offered us, I remember, Zappa Costa and 100 million upper se, which was quite funny. But we took 15 million extra and made it 115 million, and that's how we got sold Lukaku eventually. Your thoughts, Ajay bhai? Because I can see Fratesi leaving in the summer. Huh? Bolo?
Was the last swap deal the Raja Nainggolan Nicolo Zaniolo one between Roma and Inter?
Yeah, that was, again, my point is, it was pre-Marotta, right? Post-Marotta, we don't do. Yeah, we don't do all this nonsense. Like, we consider it nonsense as a club because paisa, simply because we prefer that cash coming in. It's as simple as that. We don't do swap deals. So, I think today Di Marzio dismissed the news that Lorenzo Pellegrini Fratesi swap is even realistic. He actually dismissed it. Roma want him. So the news basically is that Fratesi is unhappy with his playing time, and he is obviously sounding out his agents कि उसको छोड़ना है. Potentially he's assessing. He's not pushing to leave in January, but summer, yes, the clubs have internally spoken to his party कि summer में हाँ assess कर लो, in case he doesn't play especially a lot until the summer. So what are your thoughts, Ajay bhai? Do you see Fratesi fitting in at Roma? Because again, let me remind you, this guy scores a lot. He has great energy. He's good, off the ball in terms of winning the ball or retaining the ball, but technically he is average. He can't complete passes. He can't complete crosses. And he's just not as well-rounded as, let's say, Nicolo Barella, and that is the reason he doesn't start over Nicolo Barella. So what are your thoughts? Do you think Fratesi has the potential to be like a good starting player for AS Roma if he were to sign, obviously?
No, I've never liked him personally. Never liked him. He had a chance. He's a Roma Primavera product. He played for Lazio as well in his youth, then switched over to Roma. Was part of the Roma Primavera Scudetto team under 19. I think this was 2016, 17 back then. So, typical Roma management sends players out to Sassuolo as, to develop. And there was an issue that, Roma couldn't sign him, but had he waited 6 more months, he could have come to Roma, but he didn't want to come. He ended up going to Inter. So I don't think so Roma should really go in for him right now. Lorenzo Pellegrini, it all depends on his situation, whether he leaves or not. It's a situation that really, really kind of divides my heart because I love the
Mm.
player, but he's not been at his best. Maybe a move away will rejuvenate him, refresh him. But obviously, I know for a fact that anywhere he goes, he's going to start balling and probably come back and score against Roma. But that's a different issue. But January में तो ये deal तो होने नहीं वाला. I don't think so. January में तो
January, if
chance है.
if if something like this happens in January, I will start having questions about my club internally first. Ki, how would you even let a profile like this go in January? But that's why, as you said, January में तो नहीं होने वाला. But continue, yeah.
नहीं तो I personally I don't like the player. I do not like
Wow.
Fratesi. And I see I really don't see where he can fit in
Yeah,
right now,
exactly.
given the situation at Roma, given that in the summer there'll be a new coach who will be coming in, whether he would want a player like Fratesi, that's also a question mark. So
Obviously,
I think abhi to filhal to what
it's
Roma will
too.
try to do
Yeah.
will try to offload maybe a Hermoso and get a center back, maybe
Hmm.
try to get a wing back who can play maybe a left back role because Samuel Dahl is still inexperienced. Saud Abdul Hamid also probably should get more minutes. If I have it my way, I would let go of Zeki Chalik ASAP, but वो नहीं होने वाला है. So it's not going to be a very great January. Maybe a few departures here or there. We will get to
Huh.
Enzo Lafi's situation
Yeah.
also. But more
Yeah.
or less, I think Ranieri has found his uh, starting 11, which sees Manu Kone, Paredes in the middle, sometimes supplemented by the likes of Nicolo Pisilli or Brian Cristante,
Yeah.
in the middle of the park.
Look.
So वो aspect में अभी Fratesi I think is out of question because A, Roma don't have the money to pay
Yeah.
Inter.
Exactly.
B, the swap deal is not happening right now. So I think we can safely rule January out. And in the summer, personally, I wouldn't want him.
Yeah. So what I'll say, right, before we go to the Enzola Fe news and get back on track, yeah, Fratesi, मतलब I can. The thing is, again, मेरे लिए coach पे depend करता है because we obviously know Ranieri is not going to be our coach in the summer.
Yeah.
I can see him in a midfield three. If let's say you play Kone and let's say अगर Enzola Fe were to stay or whatever by some reason, ऐसा लग तो नहीं रहा.
Paredes will play. Paredes will play.
Yeah, that's the issue, right? Because again, Davide Fratesi and Paredes together,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
exactly. So
technically
there's no balance. There's no
there's no
balance in
balance.
that.
Technically, बहुत deficient midfield हो जाता है. And then
Yeah.
to, as you said, एक तो रोमा ज्यादा spend कर नहीं सकती और let's say by some miracle you spend, okay, चलो ज्यादा amount निकाल भी देते हो. That's a very heavy price tag for a player that is technically deficient. But
Yeah.
again, एक चीज बोलूंगा, ऐसा नहीं कि खराब player की, क्योंकि at the end of the day he scores a lot. Like he has this energy about him, that burst of energy that you would probably want in your team. See, again, usko na Inter mein na reports have given him the tag of a luxury substitute, which is I think the right description because there is nobody else like him in the Inter midfield. But again, at the same time, he's not good enough to bench Hakan because he's not a regista. He can't bench Barella and he can't bench Mkhitaryan. No way he can
Yeah.
bench this. He can't even bench Zielinski, right? So my point is, he's a different profile. He's good to have, but he's not good enough to be a starter. And obviously, he has issues with that. So Roma में अजय पे personally I can see him getting more time. But as you said कि अगर आपका उसके बाजू में अगर आप Paredes खिला रहे हो तो what's the point? Manu Kone is still complete. Yeah, I get it. But then you need somebody else alongside him to
Yeah.
complete those
In
deficiencies.
fact, I would rather go for Jacopo Fanzini, man. I love that guy.
Fazini.
I've invested stocks in him. See
What
him as a very bright number 10.
what I will say na Ajay bhai, ki again coach pe depend करेगा. Again, if you get a coach who puts emphasis on retaining the ball or winning the ball back very quickly and all that, then
Yeah.
a Fratesi kind of profile makes sense. So वो देखते तब उस पे आते. But I agree if you say you're not a fan, especially because of the cost, because I can
And the
see
history. But
and
the
the
history is always there.
yeah. So what I'll say is one thing before we close this discussion is कि देखो फ्रतेजी का कैसा है. I can see him pushing for a move to Roma, due to which the cost may be lowered by X margin. How much is that? वो तभी का तब देख लेंगे, अभी नहीं पता. I don't see. Look, we will try to ask you for a lot of money because we bought him for 30-35 million. यार मतलब बहुत पैसे के लिए खरीदा उसको. But I can see him pushing for the move to the point where it goes down thoda. But again, can still Roma afford to pay that kind of a money at some wherein you have to spend on a right back in this window, then you have to spend on other areas in the summer.
On
So
a
can
forward
Roma,
as well.
forward. So can Roma really afford to spend that kind of money on Davide Fratesi? So उस पे depend
We
करते हैं.
shouldn't
So
spend
again,
also.
huh?
Shouldn't spend that kind of money for on him as
हाँ,
well.
yeah. I thought for a second Chintan Bhai was wearing like a Monza Bari some पुराना kit, but देखा तो कुछ तो mutants था.
it's
क्या है
it's
वो?
my
Monaco quit. The
it's
Monaco kit
my
used to look like this.
yeah, it's my my son's school's jersey. We won, by the way, guys. We won the tournament.
Wow,
Oh,
Yeah, we
wow,
won
congratulations.
champions
Congratulations.
of 2024 and 25. But yeah,
Congrats.
wow.
Congrats,
so
man.
wow. By the way, good to see, man. What an exciting weekend we have. Derby.
Yeah. We were
Oh
just,
yes.
I think we'll go to the because we were just discussing some transfer rumors, Chintan mein regarding both the clubs, Fazzini for Lazio and
Yes.
Fratesi and all the Roma links. वो तो हो गया अभी. But before Ajay, so let's move on again, guys. I'll come to the comments very shortly, but let's move on to the predicted lineups and the predictions. I'll just pull it up. One sec. किधर गया? Yeah, here it is. Gazeta पे आते. चिंतन भाई से I'll get the neutral perspective first and then come to you guys if you don't mind. चिंतन भाई क्या लग रहा है यार, क्योंकि मतलब हम लोग वही बात कर रहे थे कि you have a Lazio still in form despite losing 6-0 and all, but holding Atalanta whatever, and Roma तो मतलब generally थोड़ा form पकड़ चुकी है अभी despite the loss to Como, and you know अजय भाई's hate for Como now. but but क्या लग रहा है आपको, क्या feeling आ रही है, और आपको ये predicted lineups देख के क्या लगता है? Where do you think this game is headed?
First of all, I told Ajay last time after seeing Dybala against Milan, you could see a rejuvenated Dybala, creating space, taking his curling shots, and he looked very motivated. It was very good to see, because we've always loved a player, Dybala. Of course, I hated him for the reason he used to always score against us. He has one of the most goals against
And
Milan,
and and,
actually.
and he did.
Yeah, and he did. Yeah, of course. No, but I'm saying over the years, even for Juventus, you hated a
Yeah,
player,
of course.
but you just loved his talent. And
Yeah.
I'm a huge Dybala fan, and very happy to see him play well, yeah, because he needed that freedom and all. Sorry, Anubhuti, I've always been Roma biased all my life, but it's very hard to see uh, this Lazio team not doing well, because I've been raving about Rovella for a very long time. It's been actually a very long time. I've been raving about him since his Genoa days, and finally he's turning out to be the player he's supposed to be. And I've been telling DJ and every Juventus fan that a big mistake of letting him go, because he has there's no stable, usko abhi tak stable environment nahi mila tha, I feel. He's never got his chances, never got a stable environment. But now with Lazio, I think he's having a wonderful season. And boss, I am being an Arsenal thoda bias. I'm so happy to see Guendouzi playing like this, man. Like I
I thought
always
for a second you were going to say Nuno Tavares, but then I remembered you obviously
sorry,
can't stand.
it is very hard for me to praise that man, and he had 2 assists against us. He's having a stellar season. I don't want to deny that. But Guendouzi has always been an on and off player. I could always see as a talent. Marseille में भी था. I always thought he has something in him, but अभी तक shine नहीं हुआ है. So it's
Loved,
very
loved,
hard to.
loved, loved Guendouzi in the last derby though. Maza aata last derby mein.
Yeah, so I think I know, yeah, it's very hard to see Lazio losing this game, to be very honest. I don't know if Lazio will win it, but I don't see Lazio losing this game, because I think they're very well organized. And again, seeing जो मिलान के सामने मैंने रोमा देखा था, I have a very good example जो last week ही मिलान का गेम था रोमा के साथ. रोमा do kind of sit back थोड़ा, मतलब उनको they were rattled against Milan for a period of time. Milan didn't score. Of course, they had their good counters, but I think Lazio are pretty well organized compared to वो जो Milan था at least. So I don't see Lazio losing this game, unfortunately. Sorry, Ajay. लगता नहीं मुझे Lazio game हारेगी. I don't want to say Lazio wins. I'm going to go with a draw.
Yeah, we'll come to predictions. उस पे तो आएंगे ही.
देखिए दो चीज,
But
एक तो
yeah,
दो चीज है. I always liked Roma, and I fucking love Ajay. So now it's very even harder to hate Roma. ऐसा हो गया है. So I love this man. So it's very hard to hate Roma.
Listen, I am smiling because Gazeta has auto translated Angelino to
yeah.
little angel, little
Yeah.
angel. So
Little Angel, that is the guy. वो तो मतलब
and
English
he's changed
translation.
and he's changed his jersey number. He's number 3 now. Come on, they're still from.
Oh,
Yeah. That's true. But again, I'll come to you guys again just to shed some light on terms of the news. Obviously, no one's disqualified, but thoda, obviously some certain conditions for certain players have to be evaluated. Matlab Zeki Celik, Cristante is out. Obviously, that is, I mean, not
Chalega.
even a big
Chalega.
Chalega, exactly. But for Lazio Anubhuti, on the other hand, Lazzari, Patrick, Vecino, Noslin, and Pedro are all being evaluated. We need to see whether they actually make it to the game or not. And obviously, those are some big misses in terms
I
of
don't.
the.
Param, I don't think both the set of fans will mind these players missing. I really don't think you would
No,
want
but
No. I'm happy that Pedro isn't playing.
yeah, Pedro Noslin तो मतलब यार चिंतन में उसको
Yeah,
even Patrick ठीक है,
I
Patrick
know.
Lazzari fair enough, but Vecino
Lazzari
also,
and
but to be fair, as much
Vecino,
as
okay.
average as he is, चिंतन भाई वो लाजियो के लिए तो भी ठीक करता है यार. So
हाँ, वो है.
yeah, but yeah, so you gave your opinion, but where before again I go to Ajay and Anubhuti, one last question for you. Where do you think this game is won or lost? Which area? Because you saw how the attack linked up against Milan, Roma's attack. And for me, as you say, Rovella is like, the general of that midfield, and then you pair him up with an informed player like Guendouzi. For me, it's this midfield three of
Of
Dele
course.
Bashiru, Guendouzi, Rovella.
100% Param. You are 100% on song because Manu Kone ka sub hua against the Milan game and Pellegrini came on and Roma lost the plot because
Yeah.
Kone was so crucial in that game. I have no idea why the sub was Kone injured bhi nahi tha. Tactical sub करने की जरूरत नहीं थी because it was 1-1. So I don't know why that sub happened. So Kone needs to have a game of his life over here because being a derby, his first derby. It has to be midfield, boss. Like to counter Rovella and Guendouzi over here. This has to be the game is going to be won there in the middle, and whatever little space Dybala can create for himself, he's going to be outstanding. His ball to Pellegrini, I think, जो miss किया था, outstanding. How he found behind the wing back. So Rovella, as he said, he's going to have a work cut out controlling Dybala, and Guendouzi. मतलब उनको control करना पड़ेगा because he loves putting balls behind the wing back. If they're a little pushed ahead, and Nuno Tavares, as we know, Tavares Express है यार, वो तो आगे जाने ही वाला है. So you expect that to happen. So that battle is going to be over there. There's no two ways about it. This is the battle of midfield.
And which is why even I was reading in some outlets that इसमें जो Gazeta में El Sharawi might not start this game. It will be Pisili who will be starting.
Hopefully, I was just going to this to attack him.
Yeah. So extra midfielder to counter Lazio's midfield. So I think it's going to be Paredes, Kone, Pisili who will start with Dybala.
Yeah, Gazette is not always accurate. It's the most convenient to pull up because they always have the graphics ready.
Yeah.
But Anubhuti, I'll come to you, yaar, because obviously for me, yaar, Lazio के लिए एक ही area of worry मेरे को दिखता है, which is mainly your backline. And would you agree with that? And would you be a bit worried considering how now suddenly Roma's attack is sort of clicking? क्योंकि अगर if you see the way Dovbyk and Dybala are linking up, I would not personally be the most confident if Marusic and Hila were playing with, in the backline. Well, what are your thoughts in that? And in general, how do you see this game going? Like, and any changes you're expecting to this suggested 11 by Gazeta?
No, I think it is. It seems like the team most likely to come. The change I see is Isaacson from the previous match, and a very opposite change. I do feel Isaacson is going to be a game changer in this match. I do have a feeling about him that he's going to be very important. What you're saying is very correct. Marusic and Hila, that space is the question. You mentioned that we won't miss Lazzari so much, but then I think Lazzari does contribute in that area by keeping Marusic and Hisai out of it. I guess that's one of the most important things that he does. So that's why I think I will miss Lazzari to some extent, but I feel that to some extent because of Romagnoli be coming back, our backline has been strengthened, and I do know that Dybala, and especially when he used to play for Juventus, he used to, just like Chintan was mentioning, he used to be like that bogey player who would score out of nowhere, magical goal out of nowhere. I do feel that he will be important in that match, but as Chintan mentioned, I don't see Roma scoring more goals than Lazio in this match. If you are looking for a prediction,
we just need to score one. Just need to score one more than you.
अरे ये तो ये सही रिप्लाई था, but yeah, go ahead Anubhuti.
Yeah, so I was probably going to predict something like a 2-1 for Lazio with Isaacson scoring and Zaccagni scoring and probably Dybala. Most likely.
But before that, where do you think like this match is won or lost? Do you think like Castellanos, let's say, maybe continues his form, or where do you think this game will turn on its head? If
I think the fact is that
literally, I'm sorry, that little angel
is
thing is
little angel Isaac. I think it's again. I feel that of course Rovella is extremely important for us. Genduzi is extremely important. Especially in a emotional game like the derby, it is where people like Genduzi really shine. Of course, the last one was a really weird one between him and Dybala. I think there'll be more flashes of that. I don't mind seeing a little bit of a little bit of that going
100%.
forward. So that is going to be interesting. But I feel that Dele Bashuru is really hitting his stride at this
Yes.
moment.
Hmm.
He's come from that place where he was not trusted as much, and now he's being trusted with this position. So I think Dele Bashiru might be, along with Isaacson, might be the game changers for this
He
match.
better be. He's in my fantasy, yeah. He better be the game changer.
Okay.
Yeah. Ajay, मैं आप पे आता हूँ because I like both the points Chintan bhai and Anubhuti made. Before again, just let me remind comments लेने वाला हूँ just after Ajay bhai gives his opinion. क्या लग रहा है आपको? Are you seeing more changes in comparison to what's given here, or आपको किधर लग रहा है difference होगा इस game में? From the Roma side, who do you think makes a difference, or in general, where is this game won and lost for you?
I think it's going to be a game of fine margins, and like I mentioned, Salamakers and Tavares ka battle is where tactically Roma should look at, possibly a fault line in Lazio's defense, and you want the midfield to find that ball to Salamakers, who can run in behind Tavares because Tavares loves to attack, along with the Lazio midfield, and that opens up space for a potential Salamakers run into space. वो तो है ही, no doubt. And I think our defense has got, its work cut out. The back three of Endika, Hummels, and Mancini, because you'll have Zaccagni, you'll have Castellanos who will be coming at them with pace. Barring Endika, Hummels and Mancini are not the quickest centre backs. They rely more on their game intelligence to cover positions. So वो एक battle रहेगा, with regards to these two centre backs, how they can use their experience against the quick Lazio attack that's got Castellanos and Zaccagni. And like I mentioned, I'm happy that Pedro isn't playing, is because generally he comes clutch in these games. So that is definitely, I'm happy that he's ruled out.
No, wait. He could
There is a chance.
play. He could
Could
play.
be.
So आप
Yeah,
मतलब
could play. I would be happy if he's ruled out for this game, so because that's where I think he brings in that big game experience. He's played for both Roma, Lazio. He knows what what it means. So more or less, I think chances उतने नहीं होने वाले हैं. And अगर डॉबी को चांस मिला, मैं वही चाहूंगा कि वो कन्वर्ट करे and not hit the
हाँ.
post crossbar, or try to control it with his left foot always. He can also use his right foot. So I think that's where we will need to be wary and make the most of it, because it looks like it's going to be a cagey game. Like Anubhuti said, that there could be some fireworks on the pitch as well. Few stoppages with regards to players getting into each other, and we love that about a derby यार. उसमें तो मजा आता है. ये जब antics होता है तो city rivalry है, bragging rights are at stake. So both the sets of fans know what this derby means, and I just hope that in that fine margin, we can just outscore, just pip Lazio by, like I mentioned, by that single goal to win the Derby della Capitale and all 3 points.
Nice, well
अरे
said.
मेरे को बहुत फनी क्वेश्चन याद आ रहा है. लाइक इमेजिन दिस इज स्टार्टिंग 11. ओके, रेड कार्ड तो शायद हो जाएगा. लाइक मेरे को लगता है एक दो रेड कार्ड तो मतलब हो सकता है. Now it's a very funny question. It's not, don't, like, I'm just mean, if there was supposed to be a red card in this match and एक player हो सकता है, Ajay, who do you think would be out and you would like, चलेगा यार, इसको रेड कार्ड मिल जाएगा तो मेरे को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. स्टार्टिंग 11 में you can't say Zalewski and all.
Mancini.
No. Mancini, you need in this derby games, man. You need his madness in this. I think अगर ये lineup है, अगर एल शरावी खेल रहे हैं या पिसीली खेलेगा उसके बदले, one of those two players, if they get red carded, I'm okay with that. Although El Sharawi doesn't really get sent off as such.
Yeah, he
Uh,
put
let me
Mr.
let
I
me
Nice
be
think
Guy.
Anubhuti. I think
let me
Anubhuti का
let me be
आंसर पता है.
controversial.
हाँ.
let me be a bit controversial and say that अगर इसमें Hummels जाएगा ना तो मेरे को कोई issue नहीं
Yeah,
रहेगा.
he's. I'm telling you, it's not even controversial. I know I'm a bit of a.
No, I love the guy. I love Hummels, yeah.
Hmm.
Anubhuti,
But
I'm
I
assuming your answer is Marusic.
think.
Yeah, but then also it depends upon the temperaments of the player. So just the moment you said red card, and I could see Genduzi all over it. So I hope he
Guendouzi
doesn't
मेरे
get.
दिमाग में Zakani भी आता है to be fair, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Guendouzi is hot-headed, you know that. I'm
Yeah,
just saying
he is
because I was
definitely.
thinking usually you do get red carded, like you do get cards, but then there are some players चलेगा इसको मिल गया तो sometimes, and then of course there are certain players who you don't want to go over. वो तो पता है सबका important players कौन रहेंगे, but I always want to know which is that player you'd be okay with it. Otherwise तो मेरे को पता है Zalewski तो और क्रिस्टांटे तो अजय खुद पर्सनली जाके रेड कार्ड देके आएगा उनको.
नहीं, Cristante is not playing. He is out with the mysterious injury. I don't know what.
No. I'm saying कि अगर होता तो अपने को
अगर
पता,
होता
अगर मैं स्क्वाड बोलता तो रोमा
Obviously.
जाके खुद रेड कार्ड दे के आता अजय.
Of course.
Yeah. I think Anubhuti, it has to be Marusic in case you would be okay with someone getting a red card, right?
No, yeah, I mean, of this team, I think only Marusic or even Isaacson, even,
Oh,
if there is a
Isaacson.
red card. If there is a red card, then I don't think, in a 10-man situation, he brings that, the kind of physicality that is needed. So I think in that case is possible.
Fair enough.
But I don't, like, I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of cards. There will be a lot of yellows.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope that.
I mean, the
Doesn't-
Derby della
Who's the-
Capitale,
who's the
yeah,
referee?
has a lot of.
Who's the referee of the?
Let me
of
just
the
check
derby?
one sec. Let
Yeah.
me just check.
पेलेग्रिनी वर्सेस गुएंडूजी तो होना ही चाहिए. It should happen. मेरे को लगता है
Mancini
होगा
It's
was-
also the Dybala versus Genduzi
Yeah,
with
you
the
could see
Argentina versus
Yeah.
Yeah,
France
part
team.
4 now. I think part 4,
Referee-
part 5 of that rivalry.
Yeah.
Referee
I
का
think
तो
Nuno
भाई
Nuno Tavares is still on loan, right? He's on loan, right?
Yeah, he's on loan, but with the obligation to buy, and that's
How
why.
much is the obligation? Any idea? कितना है? 15-20
I think-
million ले लेगा आर्सेनल.
Wait, I think 10 or 12, something like that. Not
10
much,
to
not
12,
too much.
10 to 12.
12 or
Not
something
bad.
like
10 to
that.
12 is not bad. He's already given a good output this season already.
Yeah.
Let's go to the comments थोड़ा, because बहुत time से लिया नहीं है मैंने. We stopped at Bresciani नहीं ये. I think this is where we stopped. I'm not, as I said, I'm not a Sampdoria fan. AC Milan mismanagement may have cost them the season for a top 4 finish. देखते हैं अभी. mean, let's say with Conceiçao where it goes. Simple, very shortly, if you want to answer this, Ajay bhai, very shortly. This comment.
रुकेगा और मैं झुकेगा नहीं. Sorry.
Yeah,
it was right.
I mean, he's not a natural 10, but I think उसने 10 के role में what Baroni did is use his characteristics to the best output possible. So let's see if it can still continue. The biggest transfer news is Arthur Melo. Yeah, he might be the most. Yeah, he's definitely on his way out. मतलब UN
But
ने
listen,
तो
I'm not going to deny it. I really thought they are up to something. मतलब I think he was not a bad player, at least जब ये आया था.
अरे Chindan bhai, do you remember the hype when the swap deal was, the talks were on, everybody was like, what is Barca doing? You're gifting him one of the best, you're gifting Juventus one of the best talents in the world. What are you guys up to? And you're getting Pjanic in exchange.
Pjanic.
मतलब
Age भी बहुत था ना, age gap भी बहुत था. But I really didn't think, I don't but I really don't know what happened to him. Like, how can a player like football खेलना भूल गया क्या? I don't understand what happened to him.
yeah, it's something. It's I mean, it's quite strange. Yeah. Again, Harry, those rumors have gone away. I know. I saw we discussed it one day.
परम सच्ची बता, अगर ये सच्ची हुआ, खुद जाएगा ना तू ड्रॉप करने को फ्रेटेसी को?
नहीं, स्वैप तो नहीं हो रहा है. स्वैप मुझे पेलेग्रिनी चाहिए भी नहीं. आई वुड रादर नॉट बाय एनीवन देन हैव पेलेग्रिनी. मुझे पेलेग्रिनी जरा भी पसंद नहीं. आई थिंक ही इज वेरी एवरेज. आई डोंट लाइक लोरेंजो पेलेग्रिनी. सो मुझे तो चाहिए नहीं. सॉरी अजय, आई डोंट लाइक द प्लेयर. But I'm for a Prateek.
You said this, he's going to score the winner in the derby now.
अब मुझे क्या डार्बी में मार दो भाई. मुझे क्या है, टॉप 4 में गैप बढ़ जाएगा. But yes, no, all jokes aside, Chintan might discuss this. I'm for a Fratesi sell. I don't have a problem. I like the player, but again, if somebody wants to leave, I don't like forcing players to stay. So you can leave No, we'll always, that will actually
And,
help us find a move for Nico
and
Paz. So
Chintan missed it, but I don't want Fratesi near Roma, man.
yeah, he
He
said he
had the
doesn't
chance.
want Pratesi at
He
Roma.
had the chance to come back to his boyhood club, did not.
Yeah,
So I think he's burned the
but then
bridge.
again, he must have looked at it like, again, it's a very weird one, na, Ajay, again, if he wanted, at the time when he rejected you guys and he wanted to come to Inter to, let's say, win trophies right away, right? And then now he has a problem with being second fiddle to Barella because he knows he can't bench the starting three
उसको
midfielders.
उसको एक्चुअली पहले लगा था क्या कि वो बेंच करेगा बरेला को.
Maybe that's why he joined. I mean, that's quite crazy, right? So I don't
Like
understand his problem.
I don't want any of these guys, Kamaka or Fratesi or any of those guys who
Yeah,
maybe
fair
only a
enough.
Calafiori return eventually back to Roma.
Calafiori
Apart
though.
from him, apart from him, no one else from the
Fair enough. Fair
from the
enough.
Roma Primavera, from the youth ranks.
Fair enough. Mir isn't. That was nice to have you. Mir not doing. Yeah, we don't do that. So again, as I said, we don't do swap deals anyways. Uh, Cristiano Ronaldo, Brian Cristantes of Fratesi. Quite an interesting.
Yeah,
Quite
good.
an interesting. He's technically definitely not gifted. So yeah, a right back should be number one. I agree. Zeki Celik is not your right
Yeah.
back
By the
apart
way,
from.
वो पॉडकास्ट में ही बोला था भाई कोई भी राइट बैक का नाम दे दो. अजय वीक मांग रहा था. नेम एनी राइट बैक. We said we were talking about hypothetical
Yeah, I saw.
transfers. तो कोई भी राइट बैक दे दो. बेचारा इतना डेस्परेट लग रहा था. मैं सच्ची ऐसा मेरे को मन हुआ कि उसको कलाब्रिया दे दूं.
Calabria, funnily enough, is linked with Juventus, and I don't understand what Morta is thinking in his head over there. मतलब वही मैं आज जोक कर रहा था कि आज ड्रॉ होगा और ये पेनल्टीज पे जाएगा गेम वन. The first goal will be scored by Calabria in the 85th minute, and then he will score for his future club as an own goal in the 87th minute. वो लिख के ले लो और पेनल्टीज पे जाएगा ये गेम. अजय भाई कैसे ओनली रोमा फैन इन साउथ एशिया भाई?
नहीं, there are so many. There are so
there are a
many.
lot of Roma fans, bhai.
A lot of Romanists.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
most accurate description of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Cristiano
Cristiano Ronaldo of Brian start days.
Yeah,
नहीं,
this
नहीं,
is
भाई.
What a
this
fantastic.
is this is no Fratesi is still better now. I mean, it's not like I wanted to have him,
Different
but I'm just
profile.
saying,
It's a
yeah,
different profile also.
Yeah, different profile. So I mean, he's just trolling, obviously being a Milanista, but yeah, he's busy. यार अभी क्या ही बोल सकते? He was there for the recorded videos, ना. So yeah, I know.
He has some function to attend. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
hopefully, देख यार सबका कुछ ना कुछ चलते रहता है. Mir, the whole idea is the show goes on. At least we have 4 people or 3 people. That's the best part about our panel is in total we have like what 8, if I'm not wrong, including Kostova and Mithul, जो कब आ सकता है आ जाता है. So that's the best part. So at least the show goes on here. At least if nothing else comes out, we have one live stream a week. So that's the best part at least. Paredes leaving. हाँ, Paredes तो जाएगा ना जय भाई. ये तो बात बराबर है. Mostly तो जाएगा
No,
ना वो.
again depends on which coach comes in. So it's too
Fair
far
enough.
away right now. But at
Yeah,
this
yeah.
point of time, Paredes is playing his best football. Ranieri
Yeah.
has kind of instilled that confidence in him. So he's definitely going to stay till the summer. Summer में देखेंगे क्या होगा.
Yeah, and again, same goes for the Fratesi news. कि summer तक अगर let's say Fratesi plays 20 more games, then I don't know why would he want to leave. So there's a lot of time for all this. It's way too soon. Yes, this is 94-95 Sampdoria home kit when the season before they won the Coppa Italia with Joran Eriksson, and I think Mancini and all were still there in the squad, right? Ajay bhai, इस time में
Yes.
Mancini, चिंतन में Mancini था, Mihailovic था, if I'm not wrong.
Viali था.
Viali
Mancini
था.
का जो-
डेविड
Viali.
प्लैट था, मुझे उतना पक्का याद है.
David Platt.
डेविड प्लैट. So
I think Viali left before that. He went to
yeah,
UAE
Viali
and-
left. I think he left. But yeah, amazing kit यार, मस्त. मतलब ये retro kits की बात ही अलग होती है. How did you become a Lazio fan? Again, Anubhuti has answered this, but I think it's been a while. So briefly, very briefly, Anubhuti, if you want to answer this.
Yeah, I mean, I started following Italian football and in football in general and sports in general at a point when Lazio were one of the top teams in the world or at least in Europe. At that point, it was the time when we won the Scudetto also.
Yeah.
But it was not just that; it was also the team which we used to have, the team under Senior Eriksson, and of course, was something that is legendary in the history of Lazio. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that at that point of time, you fall in love with the club that you fall in love with, and overall, I think for me, Lazio has been an extremely satisfying venture. It doesn't, very early on, it was, as every football fan, you'd probably want your team to win the championships, every year. But, going through some of the lows after the bankruptcy,
Mm.
and then coming back with Mancini as a good coach for a while, and then going again, some years in the doldrums, and the last few years, I would say, when Miroslav Klose came in, Eddie Rea's team, and of course Simone Inzaghi, my favorite player, and that's the thing. Like, he was my favorite player right from '99, and
Yeah.
I feel very proud seeing, that this is a person. I was literally thinking of it earlier this day. Is that this was a person who at Lazio, at least, not exactly at the end of his career, even in the middle, was almost an outcast, almost, he was not getting played. Most of the coaches weren't playing him. From
Mm.
that stage, coming back to, the best coach in Italy, is a real wonderful arc for him, which I feel very proud of, having been his supporter. So yeah, I mean, Lazio is, if you are going to be a fan of a team,
Mm.
Lazio is one of the most beautiful ones. I
Yeah.
love the color. I love the eagle. And I think I used this somewhere earlier also, is that if you really look up at sky,
Mm.
God himself wears Bianco Celeste.
Nice
Nice.
way to put
Harry,
it.
Harry is a Romanista who lives in Rome, by the way. Just
Wow.
want to put
Yeah.
this out there.
But Yogesh entered with that smile कि is like चलो मैंने फज्जिनी की डील हाईजैक कंप्लीट
फज्जनी
करके
डील
लाजियो
कर
से
दिया मैंने, हाँ।
हाईजैक करके आ रहा हूँ मैं, इसलिए टाइम लगा मुझे, इसलिए मैं बाहर था. सो गया लाजियो का फज्जिनी गया, अभी नापोली जाएगा वो. बट ऑल जोक्स असाइड, योगेश तेरे पे तो आता ही हूँ थोड़ी देर में. बट लेट मी जस्ट फिनिश रैप अप विद द कमेंट्स. ब्रूनो टवारेस भाई क्या तुम लोग मतलब. Yes, Roma is the designated home team.
Home team,
Again, this
yeah.
has been dismissed. Dishant, if I remember, you're an Inter fan, but yeah, there's no swap deal happening. I didn't get your question. I didn't.
Format, I
It's
think
a
he wants to know the
simple
format.
one. 2 semi-finals, 1 final.
It's a
Yesterday Inter
format
progressed.
question. Correct, correct.
Today one of Milan or UA will progress, and final is on Monday.
Yeah, final is on Monday. Might be a tie. हाँ, tie पे by the way अगर draw, sorry, ये तो सुपर कॉपा बोलने वाला था. Sorry, tie possible है मीर, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, Pellegrini rumors have been dispelled. ये
ये बाद
क्रिकेट
में करेंगे,
रिलेटेड.
मेरे चैनल पे
बाद
करेंगे
में
हम लोग।
क्रिकेट अभी
भाई
मत
ये
लाओ
तो
यार.
मत बोला, दुख भरी दास्तान है यार. I got up at
क्रिकेट
6:30 in the morning for this. और जैसा उठा विराट कोहली आउट, अरे सो जाओ.
Chintan, I got up at 5:45 and saw that Rohit Sharma is not playing, and then I went back to sleep. Then I got up and like you rightly said, I think it was KL Rahul who got out. तो सुबह सुबह से ये दुख दर्द पीड़ा शुरू हो जाता है.
मैं चाहता हूँ मैच में लड़ाई झगड़ा हो. गेम हैज बिकम टू सॉफ्ट. Paredes kicks the ball towards Lazio bench. हाँ, I mean लास्ट रीसेंट डर्बीज में भी हुआ है, तो मजा तो आएगा.
Yeah,
We need that.
yeah,
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 of course,
yeah.
of course, we need that.
2000s में तो कुछ अलग ही था यार.
Yeah, exactly. इसलिए I loved that Zaniolo celebration, but Roma didn't react to it. Fair enough, fair enough. Nice to have you, hey Jude. Again, I guess, did you disappear because you committed to supporting Monza like I'd suggested, or Monza dead last बैठा है table पे? मतलब probably आपका season मैंने खराब कर दिया. Saud Abdul, I think he should start the derby. He has to. I would be quite surprised if he doesn't. क्या बोलते हो अजय भाई?
No. It's going to be Salamakers. Yeah. Come on, Salamakers is now
Eh.
the guy who will play right wing back, and he's
Goated
done
है,
I don't.
goated.
very well.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the player. I know he plays with different roles, but again, I feel this is the game. You take it to a team like Lazio, especially जब उनका backline इतना खास है. Especially the point being, अजय भाई, अगर आप देख रहे हो Nuno Tavares, how it's easy to bypass in or run in behind him. I think a player like South that makes those.
I think Saud as a sub will bring that pace, but I
Yeah.
would definitely start Saud or Zeki Chelik, man. Anyone over Zeki Chelik.
Yeah, Zeki Chelik का तो doubts भी है ना गेम पे, तो वो तो मतलब Atalanta did have a red card this season and had only one red since last season, Toloi versus Inter. But hey, I think generally discussing the heat of any game, heat is wait. I think ये Fratesi related था, right? Sorry,
No.
किसके
This
related?
is a red card to
Okay.
Zalewski.
My game. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, अजय भाई भी जाके ही देंगे रेड कार्ड और क्या.
नहीं हैरी है ना, मैं क्यों जाऊँ, जाके दे देगा.
Yeah, I mean 10-12 तो अब कम लग रहा है टवारेस के लिए. सीजन के स्टार्ट में इतना बहुत लग रहा था. Yeah, I think he'll cross a decent chunk of goal assist count here. Matlab, there's still a whole lot of games left. Pjanic, yeah, was a disaster. Yeah, Chintan bhai, I mean, I'm sure he'll be watching it. GXR pe nahi, again, GXR is down. So we'll send some illegal streams, matlab, wherever we can. So
When has Jorginho ever played for Roma that he will return here? Calafiori is Romanista through and through.
I
So
think he just means
the
ki Italy mein return. I guess that's what he meant.
Italy में return.
Daxton is here. Nice to have you. Uh, क्या है यार ये कलाबिया के comparisons भाई. Um, One sec. Let me just take some Derby related
Yes.
questions if there are any.
Yeah, David Platt was a Pune City FC coach.
Yes, David Platt, Pune City FC का coach था. I don't even remind me of that club, man. Let's not get that's a different tangent. Yeah, it is offensive. You
Boss,
can't say.
Wait,
I
Param, is it me? Do I remember correctly? Adrian Mutu played for Pune City. Did he play for Pune City?
Yeah. भाई उसकी story तो मुझे. fuck,
Boss,
I don't
the worst part is I went for Pune City ka game at DY Patil, Mumbai City versus Pune City. They were trying to do this whole hype about the Maharashtra Derby. मतलब
That's
कितना
not a
ठंडा
Maharashtra.
अरे कितना ठंडा मैच था रे. Oh God, people are shouting for both the teams. मतलब मैं किधर आ गया हूँ यार, किधर फंस
अगर
गया.
आप actual Maharashtra Derby बोले, that's Mumbai FC, the club that dissolved, versus DSK Shiva Jains or Pune FC, one of the two. That's
भाई
Maharashtra.
Mumbai. Boss, I have so many
One
stories
fact that
about.
Fiorentina had a investment in
Yes.
FC Pune City, which was the
Yes,
purple
yes.
Yeah.
Lavaiola was there.
By the way,
Exactly.
Mumbai FC used to play at Cooperage. 10 रुपए का
यार.
टिकट था आज 10 rupees.
यार याद मत दिला
I
यार,
remember.
बुरा लगता है वो सब याद करके यार. I used to go for the
I
game.
remember because मैं एक बार गया था तो सिड बेचारा टिकट दे रहा सिद्धार्थ
हाँ टिकट
यादव
बेचा यार.
मैं जब गया था, I remember one of my favorite games was when I was sitting with the Yellow Brigade and they were all abusing Santosh Kashyap. If he's watching, Ajay bhai loves you. So
Yeah, but that is what. So I had a discussion. So एक match था Mumbai City का. There was a discussion going on, and सब लोग blue is the color. कोई बोला कि Mumbai City. So I was with one of my cousins के साथ, ऐसे. तो कोई बोल रहा था कि he was very upset because he was Mumbai, and he's what 45, 48 years old, and he was like, boss, Mumbai City is not blue. Mumbai is yellow. It's a Yellow Brigade. And किसी को पता ही नहीं था. मतलब it's just, of course, it's different time. जैसे वो I know a few Goans है, हमारे मिलान में भी Goan. They swear by Dempo. Like Dempo is actually
Dempo.
Goa.
I mean, there's no question. FC, I'm sorry, but Dempo is the real club of Goa. If anybody gets offended, not my problem. Yogesh बार-बार link post कर रहा है तो join कर लो यार. Yogesh के लिए
there is a Indian football link also over there, so we can continue this discussion over there.
Yeah, definitely.
Multiverse of chat.
Yeah, Yogesh ने पूरे कितने WhatsApp groups बनाए, even I have lost track. उसपे मस्त झगड़े चलते रहते हैं despite us trying to keep everything in control. So thanks to Yogesh. It's His Majesty Lord Yogesh, the Earl of Mumbai. क्या बोलता है
Living in
योगेश?
Bangalore these days.
हाँ, मतलब अभी भी है ना मुंबई में. Now I only believe in Nicopas, game changer player he is. By the way, so we are trying to, let's hopefully Inter and Real Madrid can negotiate something, because I know we are trying hard to sign Nicopas.
Wow.
My prediction is Roma 3-0 Lazio. Forza Roma. Wow. Even Anubhuti is like, क्या भाई हंस लेती हूँ. मैच में तो कुछ और ही होने वाला है. Yogesh on stream always looks like a teacher who is taking online class with a this is actually a good comparison. क्या बोलता है योगेश? कुछ बोल.
नहीं, आप ब्लरी कैमरा तो नहीं है अभी भी ब्लरी है क्या?
नहीं
थोड़ा आधा ब्लरी, थोड़ा आधा
आधा कुछ तो लाइटिंग तेरा
अपना नाम चेंज कर नापोली वाला करके कर ले दो.
I know the fix, one sec, just give me a moment.
Yeah, I mean those were different days यार. I mean वो तो गया. I remember all this. Eugenician Lingo. ये इधर मत चालू करो भाई. I don't want
don't open the Pandora's box.
Yeah, वो इधर नहीं चाहिए मेरे को. By the way, Anubhuti, do you support either one of the clubs?
Yeah. I mean, overall, because of like demographics, I should be a East Bengal supporter, but then it's all. At least recently, East Bengal is not really doing that well. So it is more or less.
But you are an East Bengal kind of. You are oriented towards East Bengal.
Yeah. Because I am from the Bangladeshi part of.
Have you been to any games?
I have not been to any games. It's too much of a I don't
Yeah, it
know
is quite chaotic. No, it
the
is quite
it's
difficult to
quite
get tickets.
chaotic.
Yeah,
sensory overload, man. It is too
yeah,
much.
Yes,
yeah.
But
yes.
have you been here, Mumbai City games?
No, I have not. Although I stay very close and I go past that
Yeah,
stadium very,
yeah.
So we should
but I
we
have
should
not
plan
gone
it.
to a
Yeah,
match.
we
Yeah, we
want to
should. We
catch up. So
definitely,
we
as a group, we've been
12th,
trying to go.
12th Jan Sunday ko there's a game, so we can try for that.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
why
we can
not?
try.
Yeah, Yogesh.
oh,
Yogesh has been going recently
Yeah.
to
Yeah, I
experience it.
went there. I watched the Mumbai FC getting beaten by 3-0 by
नॉर्थ
Northeast.
I
ईस्ट
did.
मैं तो चाहता
yeah.
था नॉर्थ ईस्ट हराए मुंबई को. लाइक आई नो आई सपोर्ट मुंबई सिटी, बट मेरे को मजा आ गया वो देख के, बिकॉज मुंबई सिटी इज प्लेइंग सो शिट, सो आई थॉट माइट एज वेल लेट नॉर्थ ईस्ट विन. मजा आ गया देख के. तू जाके बेंगलुरु एफसी को ही एंजॉय कर, मैं बोल रहा हूँ वापस. इट्स वेल मच बेटर रन. ये मतलब ये तो होने नहीं वाला है झूठ. सो बट देखते निको पास का क्या होता है. आई विल अपोलोजाइज टू योगेश फॉर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टू. Yeah, not Mohan Bagan, not East Bengal. Mohammedan FC is Real Kolkata club. Actually, I like Mohammedan the most out of all the three. So, Ajay, bhai, have you been to Kerala Blasters
I
Stadium?
have, I have, and I watched a fantastic game. Kerala Blasters losing at home 6-3 to Chennai FC. So 9-goal
Oh, wow.
extravaganza back in
Yeah, I
2020, just
remember. I remember now.
before the pandemic hit, and Bart Ogboche scored a hat trick for Kerala Blasters. I have a signed football by Bart Ogboche. Decent
Wow,
guy.
bitch.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah,
interesting.
decent guy.
Well,
But
let's get here. Yogesh, तेरे को क्या very quickly यार, तेरे क्या just very brief feelings or heading into the Derby della Capitale और तेरे predictions क्या होंगे?
I guess Lazio are in a very good form here. Like they have been they have beaten expectations. Like nobody expected at the start of the season to Lazio to perform so well. And I think with the form that they have right now, I think Lazio has a little edge over Ranieri's Roma. Although they have been good and they Roma caused like they were the final straw in Milan's coach's sacking, Fonseca's sacking. So I think Roma also are on a good run, but in this match, I would place my bets on Lazio to win this one.
Yeah, और just scoreline wise तेरा क्या prediction होगा? मतलब
Routine win, na Yogesh.
routine.
Routine win.
नहीं, wait, I missed this.
routine win.
I want Roma to win किधर है? Because मतलब क्योंकि लाजियो से गैप बनाना है ना, वो किधर है? Your typical I want something to win, I need something to happen. वो नहीं बोला आज तो.
this
Yes,
is
yes. I
this
think
is
it will be a tough match. थोड़ा competitive होगा. And I don't see anyone keeping a clean sheet as well. So I guess it's going to be 2-1 in favor of Lazio.
योगेश बोलने वाला है लाजियो ने नापोली को हराया, दैट मींस लाजियो रोमा को तो हरा ही देगी.
हाँ, वही लॉजिक है. 2 बार हरा है ना वही.
दो
But
बार
yeah,
in like a space
yeah.
of 4 days.
So if I got it correct, Chintan Bhai's prediction was a Lazio win. I am also going for a very narrow Lazio win. Anubhuti predicted a Lazio win. Ajay Bhai predicted a what was your prediction?
1-0 to AS Roma, Lorenzo Pellegrini scoring
Yeah,
from the
full
bench.
मतलब yeah, मतलब
I said I would want a Lazio win, but I'll go with a draw.
अच्छा. योगेश ने बोला लाजियो विन. अभी अब कमेंट्स में सब लोग बताओ प्रॉपर स्कोर लाइन विद द नेम्स कि आपको क्या लग रहा है होने वाला है इस गेम.
Pellegrini goes to Kurva Sud.
I want full predictions now. Satvik says Trent is available. भाई रोमा के पास पैसा नहीं उसको wages देने के लिए भाई.
It will be it's the same thing, right? Like Sydney
Yeah.
Sweeney signing for a Bollywood movie. Yeah, no chance.
Exactly.
No chance.
Yeah, 2 बार हरा है इसलिए. We will win no matter what. We are AS Roma. We only win derbies. Okay, fair enough. And yeah, 1-1 draw says Satvik. But I think pretty much we've covered the
क्या
game.
बोला
There is
रोमा?
nothing else. I'm not seeing any major development per se in relation to the game. We've even covered the transfer angle. So any like at least for this section, anything you guys want to close, Ajay Bhai and Anubhuti, anything you guys want to say before we move on to just a few more things?
I think a fair question will be asking both of us, our favorite derby wins, favorite derby moments.
Yeah. I was thinking of doing a this or that, but Chintan bhai, can you like do it like with some former Roma and Lazio players, iconic ones for Anubhuti and Ajay bhai, आप म्यूट पे हो.
Too short a notice, huh? Like
Exactly. मेरे लिए भी थोड़ा
यार.
like मेरे को भी थोड़ा sort out
Which is why memorable moments, because I'm sure
Yeah.
that whenever.
Okay, so
obviously you
yeah,
have
so
a-
I just say, yeah, of course, that's the best question, right? Now, Anubhuti, your best memory of the derby.
I mean, top has to be the Coppa Italia derby, which we won to win the Coppa Italia. I think that is that is the favorite one. But also one derby which I really really loved was the one in which Miroslav Klose scored in
Oh
the
my God.
like at the end. It was such a beautiful year and such a beautiful match. I think I always remember that match. So for me, one of the most memorable. I would even say the Paolo Di Canio one. I think 2005 was the year. The one with the fascist salute. Uh, I know,
Yeah.
of course, all of these things, but the fact is that for me, for that match, it was one of those seasons where we are doing really bad. It was the first season with Claudio Lotito on board, complete shit players playing. In that to go ahead and win that derby was a very important one. I think it was also in January. I think 6th Jan or something like that. So maybe a 3-1 Lazio like it happened in that match would be a lovely match.
Fair enough.
Okay, now one question, Ajay के लिए दूसरा question. Uh, 4 players or sort of 5 players, if you can think of, played for both the clubs.
I can think of Mihailovic, Alexander Kolarov, Pedro, Alessio Romagnoli, Luca Pellegrini.
Very good.
Anubhuti.
And no, Anubhuti, different question for her.
Different.
Anubhuti, for you, highest top scorer in the derby.
Ah,
ये
As in
तो
one match or for
No,
all
total
time
derby,
ना,
all
all
the
time.
derbies, all time highest scorer
oh
in the derby.
well,
एक का तो
has
नाम
to
बहुत
be
इजी है, एक का तो नाम बहुत इजी है.
बहुत easy.
has to be the number 10 ex number 10 of Roma,
Yes,
the
Francesco.
selfie guy.
और
Yeah, and
also if I'm not wrong, ये भी है ना, Dino da Costa, if I'm not wrong, is
Dino
there
da
as well.
Costa भी है.
Yes,
Dino da
yes, he's
Costa.
Dino da Costa. Yeah, they both are tied on
And
11.
yeah, अभी
And
एक क्वेश्चन मैं पूछता हूँ, if you don't mind. One
तो
player,
push.
Anubhuti, like you would keep your hate aside for Roma and be like, हाँ ये player मतलब like an icon of Roma, you would Totti
Not
के
Totti.
अलावा,
Yeah, Totti
with
के
no
अलावा.
Totti. Totti is too easy an answer. Apart from
I
Totti,
think I had answered this question. Like I very weirdly have always liked Antonio Cassano. Very weird choice. I mean, given all of
Yeah.
the history that he had,
here
but
we go.
I've always found him a very interesting player, and of course, Batistuta also one of those players. Like
Good
really,
shot.
really wanted him to come to Lazio. There were
Yeah.
times where there were talks of him coming to Lazio. We were a very Argentine squad back then, so I think they would be players I would say.
Fair
Ajay?
enough. And Ajay,
What about
what
what about Ajay bhai? What would he say? Which
No,
Lazio
I
player
would
would
have
he
said
say?
Nesta because, of course, Nesta is. But otherwise, in modern times, has to be Miroslav Klose here because I was very bemused that he went to Lazio and that derby win that you guys had. I still remember Luis Enrique's first and only season and his reaction to the press after the game was Mamma Mia. And he realized that, what it means. I remember Osvaldo scoring and I was just dancing. Lazio equalized. And when Klose scored, I was just staring just like this throughout the next half an hour. I was just staring like, what the hell just happened? So I think Kloza is a guy that I would have wanted him to come to Rome and the Giallorosso side of Rome and not the Bianco Celeste side of Rome.
But what a player. Miroslav Klose is, I think, the very one of the very few players in this modern generation who is probably not
Yeah.
hated by anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
ये मैं this or that करना चाहता था अजय और अनुभूति भाई के साथ, but I want to do it with Yogesh because I want to get his opinion. चिंतन भाई थोड़ा इस derby के बारे में, if you don't mind. एक पूछूंगा, एक ही है मेरे
He
पास
will not.
दो question.
He will not answer if you don't put a Napoli player over there. वो बोलेगा नहीं
नहीं
मेरे को
करना
नहीं
तो पड़ेगा ना, that's the whole point. यार योगेश क्या बोलता है, Totti या Klose? I know, don't forget the positions, Totti या Klose, क्या बोलता है?
Totti यार.
वाह, नो हेजिटेशन. आई थॉट कुछ तो सोचेगा यार, क्या टॉटी, नो हेजिटेशन एट ऑल. इंटरेस्टिंग. किसको और को कंपेयर कर सकता हूं मैं? चिदन भाई, एनीवन इन माइंड? आई वांट टू गेट हिज आंसर्स, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग पर्सपेक्टिव. दैट्स
Chintan,
Totti,
what
I
about
टॉटी गलत बोल दिया तूने, क्योंकि टॉटी बोलेगा आई थिंक ऑल आंसर शुड बी टॉटी, वो
हाँ
लास्ट में
दैट तो है,
निकालेगा।
बट कहीं तो उसको डालना पड़ेगा राइट, टॉटी को, मतलब
हाँ तो अभी मैं तो
एसएमएस और 9 गोल आन,
Oh, that's a good
क्या
one.
बोलते हैं?
SMS.
एक में तो पकड़ा है, चलो
तू कल मिल मेरे को, कल बाहर मिल मेरे को.
By
कल
the way,
हाँ
there's one amazing meme which I read that SMS, that one player who was linked with every club but did not end up going anywhere.
या
I think
एग्जैक्टली,
मैंने
आई
वैसे मिलान तो हर सीजन था।
या एग्जैक्टली, इंटर यूए मिलान सबके साथ। आई वुड से एक और है, किसका मेरे को एक कोई लाजियो डिफेंडर
Okay,
अभी
okay,
दिमाग
actually
में,
काम करते हैं परम, we'll do blind rankings for Roma and blind rankings from Lazio opposite sides पे करते हैं। Okay,
चलता है
like
चलता है,
we'll give Lazio to Ajay and Roma to Anubhuti। Okay,
fair
so
enough, but I want to involve Yogesh, that's why I was like एक दो क्वेश्चन उसके लिए, but ठीक है चल
नहीं
चल।
हाँ तो उसको तो कंबाइन दे देंगे दोनों। Okay,
अच्छा,
so I'll
combine
start with
करेंगे।
I'll start
अच्छा,
with Anubhuti। Okay,
हाँ,
Montella।
oh, so you have to rank,
Should I give him a
so 1
Okay,
to
No,
5
yeah,
rank
top 5
9
for
ranking,
you blind rankings top 5, where would you put him?
2?
Okay,
Aeroplanino.
Mexes।
5.
Wow, not bad.
I
Casano।
did not like him at all. Casano 1.
Casano
Batis-
1,
Batistuta।
oh,
Oh, well, maybe I could change 1 to Batistuta.
No,
and-
now you
no,
can't।
you
Okay,
can't,
But
you
then
can't,
3.
that's the one.
3.
Totti।
4. Good.
Oh.
Good, I had at least finished the one so that I did not have to take 30 then.
परम तू लाजियो कर इसके साथ।
अरे यार
अजय।
लाजियो का ठीक है, सोचने दो ऐसे लास्ट मिनट, बिकॉज मैं ऑन द स्पॉट थिंकिंग इज लाइक एकदम ठीक है। किसके साथ?
ओके तू कर ले, मैं कर लेता हूँ।
आप ही कर लो, आप ही कर लो।
ओके, नेडवेड।
6.
नॉट बैड। 6 मैं तो सीधा भाई -100 तो डाली हूँ।
3.
3
क्लोजे।
2.
सिमियोने।
5.
सिमोने।
हाँ सिमोने,
Diego
सॉरी
Simeone, no, no.
नहीं,
Diego
सिमियोने
Simeone
और
ना।
सिमोने दोनों।
डिएगो, मैं डिएगो सिमियोने अपना एटलेटिको
He
मैड्रिड।
said
Five.
Cholo. He said Cholo. I am saying Simone.
हाँ तो सिमोने
अच्छा,
भी पूछ ले।
Simone Inzaghi 4.
इंजागे।
Uh,
एंड मैं तो भूल ही गया क्या था, क्या पूछा मैं उसमें चेन ऑफ
लाजियो का एक और
जो भी है वो नंबर 1 है.
नेस्टा वही नेस्टा।
1. Of course.
नेस्टा would have been one
That's always
regardless।
1. Yeah.
अभी योगेश को आप मिक्स दो, मेरे को योगेश
हाँ,
के आंसर
योगेश अभी मिक्स था, दोनों मिक्स पूछूंगा मैं। Okay, let's start नेस्टा।
Nesta number 3.
वो
मिरोस्लाव क्लोजे।
2.
अरे बाप रे,
नेडवेड।
Nedved. 4.
-100 यार बोल।
कासानो।
Casano 5.
टॉटी।
तो 1
Number 1.
ठीक है, हैप्पी और नॉट विद।
Tell Yogesh, I will buy you some chips tomorrow.
अरे यार ये थोड़ी
मैं
होता है यार।
इसको 9 गोला नहीं बोला, पर I assume that how there is always a one player which you hated. I hated Materazzi, so I was assuming Anubhuti would have hated 9 golan because he's the
Yeah.
kind of
No,
player
I
you would hate.
definitely did. I definitely did. Like,
And that's a Cholo. I
Nainggolan
asked
was-
Cholo because I think he's the player you would hate. I think he's the kind of player you would hate. Inzaghi तो बेचारा वो दोनों भाई इतने भी hateful नहीं थे, लेकिन
हाँ।
Cholo is the player you always hated.
मैं
Like boss,
5 पे डाला है उसको.
मुझे नेडवेड पसंद नहीं है, मुझे नेडवेड पसंद नहीं है, so I was like -100.
I don't understand the hate for Nedved. Like,
What do you mean you
I used to
don't? Off the pitch, of course. On the pitch, nahi. Off the pitch.
on the pitch, beautiful player.
On
Like
the
when
pitch,
I
on the pitch, of
Even
course.
as a
not.
rival, I
was
would
also
say one of the
when I started watching
best-
football, नया नया जब भी चालू किया था, probably at that time the most skillful player other than Zidane
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Nedved.
I used
on the
to
ball.
Yeah.
love watching the guy for Czech Republic. भाई वो तो उल्टा मेरे को ज्यादा
वो
मजा
उसके
आता था।
बाल, I think उसका एक synonymous था उसके बाल, hairstyle and I would like to I only time I saw him cry and I was happy is when he got yellow carded in the semi-final.
Yeah.
Champions League and he got suspended in the finals. I was very happy because I knew if Nedved plays that final, Juventus जीत जाएगा. I was pretty sure.
Hmm.
I
You know,
just read
I have
somewhere.
I have a picture where I had been to Prague, and in that bar there was a photo of the bar owner and Nedved, and I had put a Roma scarf, Forza Roma, in front of that. I have a picture
उसका
in my.
उसका
Oh
क्लासिक
wow.
ना चेक रिपब्लिक वाला जर्सी मिल रहा था मेरे को रेट्रो, ठीक है चिंदन भाई. सो इनिशियली आई वाज अबाउट टू बाय इट एंड दैट पर्सन टोल्ड मी नहीं, इस पे पीछे नेडवेड लिख के आएगा. मैंने बोला नहीं चाहिए मेरे को. I was like, नहीं चाहिए नेडवेड, नहीं चाहिए मेरे
Nedved
को.
probably, I'm not the same character. I think that guy was worse, but I think Giggs, like goated player tha, of course, eventually, but of course his off the field was so shenanigans are so bad. I think no one calls
Yeah.
him goated anymore. Yeah, so it is
Exactly.
unbelievable. But by the way, I just read that I hate Nedved. He stole TT's Ballon d'Or. ये बोल नहीं सकते. I think what people forget is ना एक time था where
Yeah.
stats was not everything. I feel
Yeah.
and Juventus was a very big team back then. Very
Yeah,
big
yeah.
team.
I
And I
do
think-
think his Ballon d'Or was deserved. That I will agree with. I don't
I
like
think
him.
the TT का जो था वो next year था where Sheva won it.
Yeah.
TT का जो unbeaten season था Invincibles
Yeah.
was Sheva's time. Because I also think when Ballon d'Or जीता था, I think he totally deserved it because he won it the season and then they came in the finals. So he was already a Ballon d'Or winner when they were in the Champions League finals, Juventus, and of course he missed out. So I mean, I don't know why he get this hate because I think he thoroughly deserved that Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, on the pitch even I didn't like वैसे तो, but yeah, I think that Ballon d'Or तो he deserved Nedved. I agree with you. Like both of my disagree.
And I think Sheva won it purely because of Champions League because I think
Yeah.
Sheva was phenomenal in that Champions League season for Milan. So and we won the league title after that. So TT was just bad luck, I feel.
Yeah, very briefly, Anubhuti, if you could answer this because this is actually a very interesting question. I remember
Yeah.
Lucas Leiva's time very well at Lazio. Matlab, what do you make of it?
He was like, I think he became a fan favorite very, very soon. I think even now he posts about Lazio, so it's one of those kinds of players who stay with you forever. So I think Lucas Leiva's time, and I think when he first came in, we had all these Liverpool fans who would just flock into, and I think there was a best player or something which was judged by votes, and all the Liverpool fans had come in and started voting for Lucas Leiva, and he won it. So I think it was a fun experience at that point of time, and of course he is one of those players who, at least for the Lazio faithful, became one of the most important players. I think I see Rovella going down that route. He's slowly becoming that Laziale, which not born in Rome, but a Laziale. So I think good to see someone like Rovella.
I think they bought Lucas Leiva and we got Biglia in return.
Yeah. Yeah, I think इधर एक और comment है which says कहाँ गया है? GXR is working.
क्या बात
Yeah,
कर
I'm
रहे
shocked. Let me check. I'm actually shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, GXR is working. I just saw it.
हो? अरे, तू बोला क्यों नहीं फिर तू?
GXR is back. क्या एक साल ये चुप ही बैठता पूरा टाइम. GXR चल रहा है तो बैठा. He's like बोलूंगा ही नहीं मैं अभी किसी को. So yeah, GXR is working. Wow. So
So you can see the Super Cup.
yeah, you can watch the Supercoppa, I guess. देख यार योगेश क्विकली सुपरकॉपा का है कि नहीं उस पे enlisted. वो देख ले.
At least Serie A तो देख सकते हैं यार over the weekend. Let's also
पर
speak
देख
about
ले
the
एक
other
सुपर
fixtures. I think
हाँ just check कर. Arun is here in the chat. Nice to have you.
Yeah, Supercoppa भी है.
है?
Super Copa.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
देखो तुम लोग का sort out हो गया.
Nedved
Good
was
for you.
Nedved was 05. Nedved was 03.
03 ना?
Sheva was
वही.
04 and Ronaldinho was 05.
Yeah. And also, yeah, again, if you've missed the rumor that Dominic Calvert-Lewin is linked with a move to Fiorentina and Atalanta, so Chintan Bhai might have to soon change his clubs. But yeah, all that aside, I think I'll just what we can do is we can close this stream with the predictions of the Serie A games very quickly.
Yep.
No need to explain or anything as we do traditionally. So Anubhuti, it's a very quick segment if you want to stay. It doesn't take up that much time. Yeah, I think this is where we start, right? Venezia Empoli. Yeah. Is this visible by the way? I hope it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Venezia Empoli से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं यार. योगेश मैं तेरे से चालू करता हूँ. क्या लग रहा है मतलब यार मैं तो रोज प्रे करता हूँ डी फ्रेंचेस को सैक हो जाए बट हो ही नहीं रहा है. मतलब क्या बोलते हैं इधर क्या होगा. एंड दे फनीली पिक्ड अप फॉर्म kind of, at least they're fighting better on the pitch. But what are your predictions for this?
या प्रेडिक्शन के पहले मैं रवि का एक क्वेश्चन लेना चाहता हूँ. He's asking me
बोलना.
about Mario Rui. Like Yogesh's thoughts on Mario Rui leaving. Yeah, Mario Rui was a very good player. Yeah, he has been a very good servant of the club as well. During the past 6 months, he was out of the project. Antonio Conte did not involve him, but he has been a professional and didn't cause a lot of stir and trouble like other players have caused in the past. So yeah, like heartfelt thanks to Mario Rui and Scudetto.
This is a press release. You're literally reading out a press release.
Exactly.
तू पढ़
ये
रहे
तो
क्या
भाई,
यहाँ
हाँ.
पे?
हाँ,
The club
पर
would like to
एक
thank
फनी
you for
चीज
his
है,
contribution.
एक फनी चीज है, एक मिनट, तूने बहुत शुगर कोट किया. लेट्स नॉट फॉरगेट ओवर द लास्ट every year, right? I'm not saying you. I think what you said is correct. He has been a good servant, but every year for the last 4-5 years, he's wanted to leave with his agent. He's been causing drama. You can't leave that out. भूल गया तू? When he used to try to push and leave, and just because he used to not get a club, end में Napoli उसको रख लेता था. So while he's been a good servant, I agree, but he's always also thrown tantrums यार. वो तू कैसे भूल गया?
यार
कोई
मारियो
सर-
रूई का tantrums throw करना डिजर्व करता है. लाइक ही इज मारियो रूई आफ्टर ऑल. तो
अरे क्या ऐसा क्या कर दिया भाई
Roberto
उसने? क्या
Carlos.
ऐसा? इज मारियो
Roberto
रुई
Carlos
आफ्टर
बना
ऑल?
दिया.
क्या है भाई?
यार स्कूडेटो विन में याद करता हूँ तो मुझे 2-3 चीजें याद आती है. लाइक मारियो रूई का क्रॉस आएगा
फेयर इनफ.
विक्टर ओसिमेन के लिए. वैसे ही
Listen,
उसके
but
पहले मुझे याद आता है इंसिने का क्रॉस आएगा कलेऑन के लिए. तो
Callejon.
नापोली का वो विंग प्ले कंटिन्यू हुआ है बिकॉज ऑफ मारियो रूई. अभी वैसा विंग प्ले करने वाला कोई प्लेयर है नहीं.
आई एग्री. ठीक है, चल
But-
वो सब है. मैं सिर्फ बोल रहा हूँ तूने वो
but
पार्ट लीव आउट किया, वेरी यूज्ड टू थ्रो
how-
टैंट्रम्स.
But how scripted was Yogesh's response? Like he literally read a press release that we would like to
I'm
thank
not,
him for his service
yeah,
at
वही
the
वही.
club.
That is why I'm not agitated. That is why I had to say what I said कि भाई ये तो मारियो रुई का बुरा साइड भूल ही गया पूरा मतलब. बट ठीक है, वो सब पे आते. विल गेट बैक टू
ये
predictions quickly.
रवि का अच्छा कमेंट है ये वाला
क्या
just
बोल रहा?
last.
Yeah. Yeah, wait. I don't like Di Lorenzo. Okay, so I तो मतलब I'll be the first one to criticize him. I think वो अलग 1-2 साल में शायद विजिट करेंगे because I don't know where Di Lorenzo goes or when he goes. But yeah, I think Yogesh तेरे
So
से चालू
Venezia
करते हैं.
Empoli, yeah, Venezia Empoli. I'm expecting Empoli to win this one. Yeah, Venezia have been just very poor.
Yeah, and they can't get games over the line. I think we can see that mental shot coming because Di Francesco is their coach. Arun says Venezia 2-1 Empoli. Again, I want to see all these predictions in the comments with the team names. So आप लोग भी बोलो. Anubhuti, what do you think happens?
Yeah, I also believe the same. I think it will be a 2-0 for Empoli.
Fair enough. Chintanmay and Ajay bhai?
Same. I
I'm
think
agreeing
Empoli
with
will win
Arun.
this.
I'm agreeing with
Yeah,
Arun. 2-1 Venezia.
Fair enough. And obviously Empoli had a shock loss last week where they last game week where they lost to Genoa. एक तो यार Patrick Vieira of all people is getting unexpected wins. मुझे देख के कुछ हो रहा है. But yeah, I think Empoli will get back on winning ways and I hope Di Francesco gets sacked. But Yogesh, तेरा गेम यार इसके बाद मतलब Fiorentina, Napoli and
उसको लास्ट
लास्ट पूछता हूँ. चलो चिंतन भाई आप बताओ because the news is obviously कि Kvaratskhelia is still and Politano will be out of this game. Conte said this. This is incorrect that he's going to be a part of the game. क्या लगता है आपको क्या होने वाला है?
I'm going to go with the bold prediction and say 2-2 draw. Napoli will
2-2
drop
draw.
points.
Fair enough. अजय भाई आपको?
Going for a Fiorentina win in this one. 2-1. Very narrow win. But since Napoli are away from home, I'm just giving the slight
Yeah.
edge to Fiorentina.
Yeah, and Anubhuti, what about you?
Same for me. Like I also think Fiorentina will win this one 1-0 with a Moiskin goal.
Anubhuti is manifesting taking over Napoli in the standings. But yeah, before I go to Yogesh, I feel draw or Fiorentina win something like also because Buongiorno जब नहीं होता, I don't trust the Napoli backline at all. So, but what do you think, Yogesh? क्या बोलता है? And don't tell me what you need, what you want to happen. मुझे prediction चाहिए तेरा, ठीक है?
Prediction would be 2-0 to Napoli.
Wow.
अच्छा, क्या मतलब कोई reason है? मतलब इतना that's fair, but like any reason you feel so confident about beating Fiorentina, who's been doing so well?
I not at all feel confident, especially with Jesus starting in the back line.
आया ना लाइन पे आ गया जैसे वो अक्षय कुमार बोलता है हेरा फेरी में.
Jesus does not save.
Yeah, he
So-
this is not
And Kvaratskhelia भी out है. Politano is also out for the game. तो
Yeah.
wing पे कौन खेलेगा? Even I don't have an idea. कि ये Conte को कुछ निकालना
Nice.
पड़ेगा. 3-5-2 formation पे revert back करना पड़ेगा because we don't have any wingers. Raspadori maybe starts, but he's not a winger as we have seen him. We have seen him
Yeah,
struggle on while playing on wings. He cannot do that.
yeah, yeah.
Formation change होगा. Difficult game है. A lot of players are out, but it is the test. Napoli जीत जाएगी तो winter champions हो जाएगी. तो I want that thing as well.
टेक्निकली अटलांटा को वो टाइटल मिल गया विंटर
Yeah,
चैंपियंस
19 games में it's Atlanta.
बट टेक्निकली 19 गेम्स में डिसाइड होता है सो टेक्निकली इट्स नॉट ओवर सो या
Yeah, Atlanta is not playing, right? They just played in the.
या
this-
बट ऑफिशियली जब सबका 19 गेम्स होते हैं तब बताते हैं विंटर चैंपियंस, तो सबका होगा तभी तू बोल पाएगा कौन विंटर चैंपियन। बट क्या फर्क पड़ता है तुझे विंटर चैंपियंस की क्यों इतनी पड़ी है? तुझे चाहिए तो तू वो रख, स्कुडेटो हम लोग रख लेंगे, ठीक है?
Yeah, जो
But-
मिल रहा है वो रख ले रहा हूँ.
विंटर का ट्रॉफी नहीं मिलता है भाई। बट अरुण says Fiorentina to win. I want to see more people predict here. Come on, Ravi, winter champions is actually a thing. So like it's not an actual title obviously, but वो एक like kind of moniker है जो इटली में बहुत सालों के लिए। And the
Yeah, because
tricky
there
part
was
is
always पहले विंटर ब्रेक
Yeah.
होता था ना, पहले विंटर
Yeah.
ब्रेक होता था इसलिए so
Exactly,
2 weeks
and-
तो मिल जाता था ऑफ.
Yeah, and in the whole of last decade between 2010 and 2020, in everyone, sorry, अब यूवेंटस को छोड़ के जो भी विंटर चैंपियन होता था वो हमेशा स्कुडेटो हार जाता था बेसिकली।
अरे नापोली को भी छोड़ के.
हाँ, नापोली को छोड़ के एक बराबर। सो मिलान क्लब्स के लिए उल्टा था, व्हेन मिलान वर द विंटर चैंपियंस, इंटर वन द स्कुडेटो, व्हेन इंटर वन द विंटर चैंपियंस, मिलान वन द स्कुडेटो, सो वैसा था। बट या दिस गेम हेलास वर्सेस उडिनेजे, अजय भाई क्या लग रहा है?
Udinese win.
Yeah, I hope Udinese win. I would say that. चिंतन में आपको क्या लगता है?
Same. I hope Udinese wins. But मेरे को draw लग रहा है.
Actually, no. I'm changing my mind. Let's go with draw because Udinese
then
are just.
ऐसे थोड़ी चलता है यार. I'm rooting for Lazio then. क्या बोलते हैं योगेश? क्या लग रहा है? योगेश
Hellas
prediction
Verona
भाई.
have been in a Hellas Verona have been in a very good form here of late, especially. I'm expecting Hellas Verona to actually get some points from this game, either a draw or a win for Hellas Verona.
Hellas Verona have just done Hellas Verona things where they randomly win a random game out of nowhere and then lose like 3-4 games. Anubhuti, what do you think?
Yeah.
I think it'll be a draw, given
Fair
the form of both sides.
Yeah, fair enough.
Cagliari
Yeah. This Arun was saying this is terrorism. This is terrorism.
Yeah, this is terrible.
This-
God.
This is proper like haram ball, ultra pro max, whatever they say. I think this मतलब ये तो पूरा नील लिखा है मेरे लिए. इस पे क्या बोलते हो चिंतन भाई?
Yeah, man. Monza won't concede and Cagliari won't score. ऐसा है वहाँ का. Like, oh my God, I can't. I hope. Yeah, man. I can't. Don't even want to predict this game. मैं draw बोलूँगा safe side के लिए, man. I'm not going to watch this game for sure. वो तो लिख ले तू किधर भी. मैं नहीं देखने वाला हूँ ये game यार.
5 बजे ये इसकी टाइमिंग भी गलत है ना. अगर ये रात को होता ना तो अलग बात है. 5 बजे क्यों है? मुझे वही नहीं समझ. 5 बजे मोन्जा कैलरी कौन ट्यून इन करेगा? Unfortunately, Anubhuti and Yogesh, what do you guys think?
It's going
Yeah,
to be
I
a
mean-
good motivation battle. I guess Cagliari would win it because Monza have been more.
Yeah, Monza
Monza have
terrible.
been more terrible than Cagliari, and they have pretty.
नीचे
huge-
फॉर्म देख, दोनों का फॉर्म देख. नीचे डाला.
My
मतलब देख-
God. Red
मतलब
flags.
भाई-
Red flags.
Yeah, this is hilarious. I'm sorry. I still feel Cagliari as a better team. So maybe if anybody has a chance to win it, as you
Guys,
just said, Cagliari.
don't laugh on Cagliari. They drew Milan after we beat Real Madrid.
Yeah. Cagliari is actually still decent, as Yogesh said. So I can agree with him. But I think Yogesh, their prediction is a Cagliari win, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a Cagliari win.
Fair enough. I'll go for a draw. I think Chintan Bhai doesn't want to
Anubhuti,
predict.
yeah.
Anubhuti and Ajay Bhai, what do you guys think?
I think that
Cagliari
maybe
win.
Monza sneaks in a victory.
Wow.
Minus
Okay.
New
Nesta.
manager bounce.
New manager bounce. Fair enough.
I'm going for a
Ajay-
Cagliari win on this. I don't
Fair
think so. They will improve. Monza, that is.
this I feel is a very interesting sort of like game because दोनों teams kind of struggle कर रही है. एक तो ठीक है Genoa is winning, but then Lecce with Giampaolo versus Patrick Vieira. चिंतन में क्या लगता है? I personally hope Lecce wins, but I feel Genoa निकाल लेगा कुछ.
मेरे को वही लग रहा है. I hope I'm rooting for Lecce. Of course, anti-rabbit supremacy अलग ही चीज़ है.
Anti-Rebic
But,
army.
मेरे को भी लग रहा है शायद Genoa थोड़ा motivated लग रहा है. So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up
Exactly.
winning this game. But I would want.
Yeah.
I'm going with a Genoa win, but I would want Lecce to win this game, man.
Yeah. योगेश अजय में अनुभूति क्विकली क्या लग रहा है आपको?
I'm
Draw.
expecting Genoa to win this one. Yeah.
Fair
Genoa
enough.
win. What is that?
So
Draw.
yeah, Anubhuti, you said a draw.
No,
No,
I
I
said
said
a
a
draw.
Genoa win.
Okay, Genoa win and draw for Ajay. Fair enough. Now this, तो पार्मा अजय भाई आपने तो 5-0 उड़ा दिया पार्मा को, एंड पार्मा विद ऑल द इंजरी इश्यूज स्टिल हैव प्लेड टेरिबली रिसेंटली. मतलब दे हैव बीन पैथेटिक टू बी फेयर, एंड यू हैव बोथ दीस टीम्स रिडन विद इंजरीज अगेन. क्या लग रहा है आपको? मतलब आई होप टोरिनो विंस बिकॉज आई एम टायर्ड ऑफ अर्बानो कायरो. आई एम टायर्ड ऑफ व्हाटएवर गोज ऑन एट दैट क्लब. क्या बोलते हो? आपको क्या प्रेडिक्शन लग रहा है?
I'll go for draw in this one, or maybe a Parma away win on this,
Fair
just
enough.
because Torino are, the way that things have been affecting them off the pitch now. I think it's not going great.
Yeah, and Chintan Bhai and Yogesh, what do you guys think?
I'll go with Torino. I think Torino will sneak this one. Parma disastrous, man. It's very surprising to see how badly they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
Torino can sneak something in. So I'll go with I like Vanoli, so I'll go with Torino.
yeah, the real reason why Ajay Bhai didn't say Torino win is because Torino, if Roma lose the derby,
Yeah.
Torino could. क्या बोलते हैं योगेश
Yeah,
and Anubhuti? What do you guys think?
I guess Torino
I think
will.
Parma will.
Parma
I think Parma will win this one. I think,
Yeah.
but they sneak in a good game after 3 games. So I guess
Yeah, what do you think, Yogesh?
I think Torino will win this one because Parma, like, the season is going downhill, and if they don't start getting their act together, they might be in the relegation battle very soon.
Fair enough. On Torino's note, I just wanted to bring this up because I know Chintan Bhai को बहुत desperately चाहिए Samuel Ricci Milan में, and he has extended his contract till 2028, and that doesn't mean he will stay, but Chintan Bhai, it has just become more difficult to sign Samuel Ricci now than ever before.
Yeah. Oh no, price tag. अभी तो price tag होगा सीधा.
Yeah,
That is
बहुत
why
बड़ा
the
मतलब
extension a clear stage उसको बोला होगा भाई तू तेरा extend कर ले तेरे को जाने देंगे.
Yeah, and वही एक न्यूज आ रही थी कि there is like sort of a mutual understanding with Cairo कि अगर 35 बोलो 25 to 30 million के बीच में ऑफर आएगा तो they'll let him leave, but you know Urbano Cairo is not going to let that happen easily. So but yeah, I mean it's a blow for teams, especially Italian teams that will look to sign him because एक clearly motive है कि अगर बेचना है तो Premier League में बेचना है. So yeah, I mean good news for Torino as a club, but obviously the motive for Cairo is here to
But
make
is it really good news, Param, जो बेलोटी के साथ में हुआ, उसको इतना साल
is
रखा
it really
उन्होंने,
good news? Yeah,
they
yeah,
could have
that's
sold him for
Yeah.
at least a
Milan.
40-50 million, but Urbano
Milan
Cairo
came
wanted
forward,
100
no?
million for him.
Look,
No,
what I'll
Milan
say,
came forward with it. Milan ने बोला था
Yeah.
already. I think Maldini said that we offered 70 million for him. 70 million and he rejected that.
yeah,
Ridiculous.
yeah. And what I will say is, na, Ajay bhai, that question you posed is very good actually because look, as long as Cairo and Vaniati, their directors are there, I don't expect progress in this club. We've discussed this club's issue a lot. जब हमने बात की थी पहले, and actually it was a renewal day at the office. They renewed Voivoda's contract, they renewed their sporting director Vaniati's contract, which is the
Voivoda's
biggest
का
negative.
contract renew कर दिया.
क्या क्या
I
क्या?
cannot be. Voivoda's का contract renew कर दिया. I cannot
Yeah,
get over that.
exactly. So exactly, yeah. And Vaniati का जब मैंने news देखा, I was like, yeah, this club, I don't think he's going anywhere because he's a very average sporting director. You can see it in
Voivoda
the
is supposed
signing.
to be. He was supposed to be Bongiorno's replacement, right? The hyped
Yeah.
replacement.
No, his replacement was Walukiewicz and another very average player. Yeah, that's the point with Torino, right? They're stuck in this rut where, as Ajay Bhai said, is it actually good news? At that time, it was Bellotti. Now it's Ricci, and if Ricci actually ends up staying, right, he's stuck with a lot of average players, barring a few. Like Duan Zapata is good, Saul Coco is good, but what apart from that, right? So it's sad to see. I mean, in a way, I agree with Ajay Bhai, but I hope maybe let's see where this club goes in general. I'll just take a few comments and let's close this stream, guys.
Prediction खत्म हो गया सब prediction.
लाजियो
Okay.
रोमा था ना लास्ट, वो तो पहले ही ले लिया था.
Oh, was another news. Conceiçao's big announcement. Mike Mignon captain.
Wow.
आके ही पूरा
Always.
change कर दिया उसने.
Always like
Interesting, and
goalkeepers
also-
to be captain.
Yeah, and also one thing he has high fever, but he's still going to be managing from the bench. भाई सबको फीवर दे देगा चिंतन में, आपके नेक्स्ट गेम में कोई प्लेयर रहेगा ही नहीं खेलने के लिए. भाई उसको हटा दोगे. Yeah,
But
apparently that.
it's a statement. क्या बोलते हैं? एक statement है. Manager statement बोल सकते हैं. माइक मिनो को सीधा कैप्टन बना दिया. So
Yeah, that's definitely a
ये क्या
statement.
है
Very
भाई?
quickly,
No,
Chintan bhai, if
no.
you can answer.
भाई फर्स्ट ऑल लिवरपूल में 100 लोग तुम लोग 100 चांसेस क्रिएट करते हो उसमें से वो 10 मारता है. मिलान में 10 ही क्रिएट होंगे तो आई डोंट थिंक नुनेज वुड वर्क. जोक्स असाइड
Chintan,
आई हाँ
Chintan, from the last stream, जब से तूने बोला ना, I have not been able to get the picture of Alessandro Matri out of my head, man. What a
Yeah,
cult hero he was.
yeah.
So I think Nunez, whatever it is, too many chances he create, like he gets too many chances, he misses it. So I don't think we can afford those wages. And Kolo Muani, is he? I don't think he's even a striker. So
You don't. Colomoni is not a natural striker. I
so I
don't
don't.
see this signing making
We,
sense at
we
all.
need someone जो कोई group में डाला था. We need someone like a Vlahovic types, proper number 9 चाहिए आगे.
Yeah.
So I don't think so.
In one interesting piece of news, right? Because Kardashians never ceases to amuse. Like, because I know Chintan Bhai loves it. There has been another update on Moro Icardi and Wanda Nara. If you guys are interested.
गाइस प्लीज हम लोग एक ऑल ऑफ अस हियर गाइस एक स्ट्रीम करते उसके लिए यार. योगेश को अच्छा नहीं लगेगा मेरे को पता है लेकिन बॉस एक
Yogesh
स्ट्रीम
is,
करते हैं
for
यार.
some reason, he's a Moro Icardi and Wanda Nara fan. You guys can have him if you want. This is the latest update. Wanda attacks Moro on Instagram. मतलब ये चिंतन में ये देखो भाई, नो कटिंग डाउन ऑन हेल्थ एक्सपेंसेस 5 माइनर्स, मतलब इसका तो ड्रामा चल रहा है. नो पेमेंट फॉर स्कूल, ये वो, मतलब भाई ये लोग अपनी ही दुनिया में रहते हैं.
I just to इसको ज्यादा मैंने थोड़ा डिटेल में रिसर्च भी किया था. So अनुभूति, there are chances that Wanda earns more than Icardi, by the way.
Yeah,
So
of course.
the annual no, so this
Yeah.
time last 2 years she's been crossing Icardi's earnings. So but ये सब तो थोड़ा चालू है. And उसका photo, so I think Anubhuti, if you are in, we can do one proper क्या बोलते हैं drama keeping up with the
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
यार
Kardashian,
जो कर सकते हैं हम लोग यार. I think it's
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
interesting.
just-
I'll tell you, I'll be very honest, hand to heart, I'm very interested in this. बॉस क्या ड्रामा चलता है life में यार
Yeah,
ऐसा.
drama.
हाँ.
इस पे वही मैं बोलता हूँ, इस पे नेटफ्लिक्स सीरीज कैसे नहीं है. लाइक एटलीस्ट इफ ही वाज एट इंटर और भी हो जाता, बट आई एम जस्ट ग्लैड ही इज नॉट हियर. आई नो ऑल द, सो वही मैं आई एम ट्राइंग टू find the right time with Uncle Sharma and make a video with him, because we've already decided कि इस पे वीडियो बनाना है. I've already told अजय भाई कि पूरा लाइक एक
And
कार्ड.
पहले वांडा बिफोर मैक्सी लोपेस था उसके साथ, उसके पहले मैराडोना के साथ भी रूमर्स थे.
Yeah,
Diego
I mean,
Maradona.
she's crazy, but he's also equally crazy. Both of them are assholes in my opinion. I never liked both of them, and I'm just glad they're out of my club. Like, that's all I can say. I know लोग दोनों को नापोली जाना था योगेश एक पॉइंट पे. यार तुम लोग ले लेते तो थोड़ा मजा आ जाता. Imagine Ajay bhai, De Laurentiis, Wanda Nara and Icardi at the same club. That would have been pure box office. मतलब एक तो मूवी प्रोड्यूसर है ही वो.
Literal box office. Literal box office हो जाता है.
Yeah, literal box office. So, yeah. I know City are interested in Richie, but let's see. I mean,
I think it died down. This is died down, but City and Richie
yeah, it
died
is slowed down a lot. Milan seems to be a bit more concrete of an option. यार देखते हैं, अगर टाइम मिला तो. अजय भाई ने एक दो इंटरेस्टिंग स्किट्स किए शॉर्ट्स में, वो आएंगे. वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग स्किट्स.
Introducing a new character.
Yeah. गौरव says I love चिंतन भाई. तो अलग ही सीन हो गया. मतलब इंटर फैन, so happy to see. मतलब मिलान फैन. Yeah, he's not, but he doesn't play as a natural striker. Like, he's not an out and out 9. So, and exactly. Yeah. Arun. So by the way, Arun used to love Icardi so much that he used to say you should kick out AC Milan and rename it Stadio Moro Icardi. Like, shame on you, man. If you actually want to
By the
name
way,
an
just to
entire
tell you
stadium.
guys, जितना भी वो ट्रोलर दिखता है अरुण इधर ऑनलाइन पे, अनुभूति when we met him, he's a sweetheart in person. बस इसको ये उसका ये गेटअप है इधर. बस ऑनलाइन क्या बोलते हैं, कीबोर्ड ट्रोलर है वो.
Yeah, by the way,
softy real
by
life.
the way,
Very,
in our
very
studio
sweet.
episode, Ajay bhai has taken a few shots at you. You might want to go check out which video. So,
Oh.
yeah.
That is banter from a tournament, nothing else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chintan bhai playing Wanda, Ajay bhai by Maxi and Param Icardi. भाई यार, एक्चुअली इसने तो एक्चुअली बराबर रोल्स दिए मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है फॉर सम रीजन. चिंतन क्या है, you look so handsome in your younger days. I've seen your, अरे बाप रे, ये तो
Still young,
stalking
yeah, come on. Still
मुझे
young.
बुढ़ा बना दिया मुझे बुढ़ा बना दिया यार. I thought
बुड्ढा
तू
वाला
बोलेगा
है भाई.
I still look handsome, but okay. Thank you so much, man.
ये तो स्टॉकिंग का केस हो गया. एग्जैक्टली भाई, जरा
Sorloth.
ट्रेड
Yeah,
केयरफुली.
Sorloth is good. I like Sorloth.
Yeah, score. Sorloth is on like a streak of scoring late goals. I think I'll just take like the last two comments which I've seen, and that's it. Real Madrid has a match tonight, and GX are working after all these days. यार इतना
Let's
डीप
not
में
get into
इतना
that. Yeah, let's
इतना
not get into
डीप
this.
नहीं सोचूंगा मैं गोपीनाथ. लाइक दे हैव टू गेट देयर प्रोडक्ट वर्किंग एंड दैट्स व्हाट दे आर डूइंग. मतलब connect the dots and all. I mean, to be in that case, GXR was down during the El Clasico, bro. Like it wasn't working during the El Clasico. So
Yeah, that's also
uh,
there.
yeah, I don't see any other comment. There is one comment just thanking Anubhuti. Very similar feeling that Liverpool fans have about Lucas Leiva. Fought for the shirt, could play DM or CB, always professional. So yeah, I think Liverpool fans share your sentiment for Lucas Leiva. Any closing thoughts, guys? I'm closing the stream. Any closing thoughts? Any closing comments from your end?
Pray for Milan tonight. Pray for Milan.
अजय भाई, आपके आपके कोई thoughts?
Man, Derby days are always very anxious to the build up, especially on Sunday. I know कि from evening 5 साढ़े पाँच 6 बजे तक I'll be only focused on one thing only. Probably watch the game, in and out, and try to get some sleep in between. पता नहीं क्या होने वाला है. And of course, it depends on the result. If Roma win, then the world looks that much more better. The coffee tastes better. Everything looks good. If it's a Lazio victory, then it's the exact opposite. So I hope that the boys make Roma proud, and we have the bragging rights for at least a few months until we face Lazio next. It's very important, very very important second half of the season, because the way that 2024 went for Roma, especially the latter half, it's so important that we pick up a derby win and build that confidence into 2025. And yeah, man, die Roma sempre. I mean, wouldn't change this feeling for anything in this world. Derby days are
अजय
always
भाई तो
special.
अजय भाई तो
Emotional हो
पूरा
गया.
इमोशनल हो गए भाई. अभी तो रोमा को डार्बी
It
जीतना पड़ेगा. अभी
it
तो रोमा को मत.
अरे this game is that emotional. And मैंने कल रात को वीडियो रिकॉर्ड किया, and my wife was like, why are you seem so emotionally exhausted. So
That's
I was just
true.
telling her
That's
that
true.
this is what the derby is. It's
Yeah.
so there. And I think all of you will agree that 99 2000 when Roma and Lazio had those star players on the pitch, my god, I mean, you would want to watch that. I don't know
Yeah.
if that time will ever come back again, but I hope that since football is cyclic, Serie A comes back on top and all the teams are competitive, and we have those star-studded Derby della Capitale once more.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think all of us feel the same way about our clubs in terms of support as well. You put it well. Anubhuti, any Yogesh, any closing thoughts from you guys?
Yeah, for me, what I see is that it is I would say, a very new Lazio, a very young Lazio, and I think the rite of passage for any coach, for any player in Rome is the Rome Derby and the Derby della Capitale, and this side I feel needs this victory to make to basically say that we are actually there. We're not just
Validate.
yeah, to validate our position there. So
That's
that's
well.
why I feel that we are in form, but as Ajay bhai mentioned very many times, that form quite often gets thrown out. In fact, at least early till the 2000s, there used to be this stat that whoever was ahead
Yeah,
in the standings would lose the
would
derby.
lose
So I
would
hope
lose
that
the
is
derby.
not what goes on anymore. But yeah, like Ajay said, it's really like determines a lot of the experience of a Lazio or a Roma fan for the entire year. Our seasons are built and destroyed on the Derby della Capitale. This is a very interesting one, and let's see how it goes. Very anxious about it as well. Like the first half is going to be very, very, very anxiously played.
Fair enough. क्या बोलता है योगेश? तेरे कोई closing thoughts?
I just wanted to say Happy New Year to everyone, to all of our subscribers. May in 2025 Serie A reach new heights and Calcio Charcha also reach new heights. That is what I wish for.
या यार,
हाँ.
आई एग्री. वही वही बेस्ट चीज बोल सकता हूँ, क्योंकि यार वही अभी कंटेंट तो बहुत प्लान्ड है, जैसे योगेश ने बोला है 2025 में बहुत आइडियाज है, ये वो है, होपफुली विल बी एबल टू पुल इट ऑफ, वही होप है। एंड लेट्स सी, मे बी यू नेवर नो, इटली में जाने वाने का कहीं चांस मिले तो नथिंग लाइक इट। एंड या बहुत आइडियाज है, होपफुली विल बी एबल टू पुल इट ऑफ। एंड बिफोर वी गो, दीज आर द लाइनअप्स फॉर यूवे वर्सेस एसी मिलान। जैसे आप देख ही सकते हो, यूवेंटस की
क्या
टीम के
फनी है यार, टोमोरी जाने वाला तभी स्टार्ट कर रहा है।
हाँ, एग्जैक्टली, फुल टर्न अराउंड। Obviously Mike Maignan is the captain, as Chintan bhai said. बाकी सब तो Benacer, Fofana, Theo, Alex Jimenez. On the other side,
Weston
obviously,
McKennie left back.
yeah, I mean, he technically, it has to be that, because he can be used as a. Don't forget, Ajay bhai, this one, Mota used him as a right back in the first few games.
Right back is fine.
He sees him
No
as a
yield is,
utility.
but no yield
No
is.
yield is, exactly. Gopinath
yield
was
is.
asking, what do you guys think? If you guys want to very briefly answer that,
Jimenez is such a good player यार, चिंतन क्या खेलता है Jimenez.
जाएगा वापस रियल मैड्रिड यार, क्या करेंगे।
Exactly. This
Buyback
is the
clause
only.
है।
Yeah, मेरे को मिलान का वो आज तक समझा नहीं है why you guys agree to the. I mean, why you guys take a player with if there is a buyback clause. But yeah, that's a whole different discussion. But
I
yeah,
think we were desperate that time. I think we're in a different position
exactly.
now, but that
Yeah.
time we were desperate and they need a right back and for left back. उनको wing back चाहिए in short. So I think he'll go,
Yeah.
but let's hope for one more season he stays with us. But good talent, man. Good talent.
Yeah. Gopinath, I'll just briefly say कि yeah, I mean, देखते हैं यार, I see it more of as an opportunity for Mbangula because it's the Supercoppa. Then let's see. I do see Yildiz वापस आ जाएगा lineup में in the league game. So that's my very brief thoughts on it. But yeah, these are the lineups. GXR is back seemingly. तो GXR पे गेम देख लो, 12:30 का किक ऑफ है. So do tune in. And yeah, yesterday the whole commotion was कि atmosphere was not great, which was weird because I remember last year जब सुपर कोपा हुआ था and Inter versus Napoli था, I remember Yogesh, the whole stadium was packed completely with Inter fans only. There was no Napoli
It'll be
fans.
packed today. It'll be packed today.
sold out.
Milan.
No,
Sold
but
out.
that's the weird part, right? जब Inter Napoli last year होता, it was fully packed. All 25,000 whatever seats were
नहीं,
sold out.
आज वापस होगा. आज मिलान यूवे के लिए will be packed.
It's already
Yeah,
sold out. Milan Juventus
Yeah,
is
it's sold out. No, I was just surprised for yesterday it not being packed, mainly because last season when Inter played Napoli, Inter fans in Saudi, there are a lot of Inter fans in Saudi Arabia. और तब 25,000 fans पूरा भर दिए थे stadium. There was not a single Napoli fan, with all due respect. There was no Napoli fan in the stadium.
It is
So-
today. Even I was surprised. Only 67% था, but today
Yeah,
it's
it
packed
was-
stadium and they're expecting 70% Milan fans tonight.
Yeah, it was
So I
very
think
strange. Like
Milan-
what? Yeah, बोलो. I know
नहीं,
what
no,
I've heard is.
मिलान रीजन का सुप्रीमेसी है सऊदी में शायद.
Nah. I think what I know at least is that most of the Inter fans are based in Jeddah, and obviously this is in Riyadh, so I don't know,
Yeah,
whatever it is. But yeah,
Not very
whatever,
far
everything, all that aside, at least I think the winner gets 8 million. 8, हम लोग गरीब क्लब को 8 million बहुत है हमारे.
That's good money यार. That's good money.
रोमा के लिए तो बहुत ज्यादा पैसा, उतना मैं बोल सकता हूँ.
बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा है. It's
Yeah,
good
but
money.
yeah, I think guys we'll close the stream on that note. Thank you guys for tuning in. As I always say, like, share and subscribe and let people know that we exist. I think we are at क्यों हंस रहा है योगेश? क्या हुआ? कुछ बोलना
So I
है?
just I wanted to reply to Arun Krishnan's car.
बोल मैं तो तेरे
Napoli
को
has
full
no
permission.
fans. They
You
have
have
Mickey
one
Mouse
fan
Cup
here on the stream. और क्या चाहिए तुझे?
मिकी माउस कप के लिए कितने फैंस जाएंगे यार?
लास्ट सीजन तो खेल रहा था ना. लास्ट सीजन तो एक मिनट ट्रॉफी देख भाई, तुम्हारा क्लब ट्रॉफीज जीतता कम है, ठीक है? तो मिकी माउस क्लब बोलने के पोजीशन, मिकी माउस ट्रॉफी बोलने के पोजीशन में नहीं हो तुम लोग. 30 इयर्स लगते तुम लोग को एक ट्रॉफी उठाने में, ठीक है? All of our clubs are used to winning, bro. So maybe not Roma and Lazio, but Chintan and Bhai and me are too used to winning. So sorry, Yogesh.
बस बैंटर यार ये और कुछ.
Yeah, it's all banter यार, मजाक ही चल रहा है. Yes, it is
telecast.
Gopinath. It is being telecasted, and tomorrow we are meeting with Kostub to record a special sort of at least some videos. So hopefully that also works out well. Yogesh again is creating some drama. वो शायद नहीं आए, so देखते हैं वो. So if he doesn't come, there'll be punishment for him as well. We'll see. So yeah, I guess we'll see you soon, guys. We'll close this stream, and the match is on GXR. Don't forget.
Ciao, ciao.
See you soon. Yeah, bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.